Hey there. I was basically speedrunning some exercises just so I could fucking get to air and wake my ass up. Yeah, it's gonna be a weird show. Let's do the official fucking. It's gonna get a little weird. I've been awake for a little too long. And for those that know that version of Kai. All right. So it's Friday. I feel like being lazy. I don't feel like doing a whole lot of work. Hello everybody who got here. Caboose. That is, your original sentiment. Caboose is exactly how I feel. Oh, good. Getting the stream out of the way early. I would just like to skip ahead to Bad Movie Night. I'd rather just get that done. I want not get it done. I'd rather be doing that right now. Rev. Oh, cool. I'm still awake. Yeah, I know how you feel, my man. Why do applications with no degree requirements need to know the school I went to? Yeah, whether I agree with premarital. They need to know if you're poor. Hey, public. Rev, I am, I'm weird right now. So yeah, whoever wants to jump on the air with me anywhere through this show can. I'm just going to open it up to the community immediately. We're just going to do that sort of fucking thing today. God, I don't get funny death threats during movie night. Fair enough, premarital. Sorry we don't accommodate the your need for death threats during Bad Movie Night. I only got a couple hours of sleep myself, says himself. Yeah, I managed to eke out like 45 minutes or something like that. Yeah. And Cat's been firmly planted in front of a rhythm game for the past 17 weeks. So
yeah, pretty much. I've become a world-class player just by locking myself into the, into like a hyperbolic time chamber type mindset.
Yep. Caboose, I got my first decent night's sleep for the first time in 2 weeks last night. Oh, shit. Is that because you switched your sleeping style, Caboose? Like you went to like the futon or something like that? I forget what the final decision was. Not yet. Okay. Well, I'm glad you got a good night's sleep then. Rev, I have. They're boring as fuck. And they're
shit.
They're really irritating. Hey, Brooke. How are you? Bought a 5-inch 100% cotton futon. Rock on. Got my second shot. Man, that kicked my ass for 2 days. Yeah. I hear that is a tendency. I know. I don't know if Co Carnage was on the air today, but I know he was getting his second shot. The end of yesterday or the beginning of today. Because I know his Thursday stream. He mentioned the Friday stream may not happen depending on how he's feeling. So, Caboose got J&J, mild stomach cramps.
Give it some time.
Whether shots aren't necessarily hard for people, but the COVID vaccine does kick some people's ass. Yes. Swede had 102 fever that took 3 regimens of Tylenol to break. But Swede, have you considered it's because the vaccine is meant for like human beings and you're a cyborg? And that maybe, maybe that was an attack on your like machinery. It's the 5G nano chips that are incompatible with your hardware. Rev, getting any shot is difficult for me. I have a terrible phobia of needles. Brooke. Also, after my second shot, I got a fever of 102. It was so awful. Huh. My last, my last shot of testosterone hurt. The Thursday shot was like, when it went in, I knew I was like, oh, this is gonna suck. Like, it just sucked. I've been doing Ventro injections, and it hurt just putting it in. I was like, ugh, this is just one of those. Like, maybe I'm on top of a nerve or something like that.
That's rough.
Is what it is, right? Like, in the grand scheme of pain and shit I've put up with in my life, a little stabby stab in the hip really isn't much. So, yeah, is what it is. Caboose, get so painfully sick that you want to die. That's how I got over my phobia of needles. Get a shit ton of blood draws, and you can definitely go down that route as well as some acupuncture. My acupuncturist got me over it. Swede said, hello, I am 3 Swede PO, human cyborg relations. I'm fluent in 6 million forms of communication.
Nice.
To that I say, nerd.
Amazing.
Even though I know the reference. Last time I got a flu shot, the nurse thought I was going to faint while I was waiting in line. Getting the shot isn't so bad. It's thinking about it while I wait that bothers me inexplicably. Yeah, you need some like anti-anxiety medication or something, Rev, to deal with that sort of shit, because clearly stabby stab in the hip is lingo for prostitution as far as I care, Premarital said. How dare you invoke the good name of Fleet Admiral Stabby? That reference came up earlier today in a Reddit conversation I was having.
Nice.
It's Reddit lore. It's actually Tumblr lore. Fleet Admiral Stabby started off as a room, basically it was a conversation about how human beings can bond emotionally to inanimate objects, to anything. Like, there's nothing a human being can't bond to. And so somebody tells the story from, like, you know, the sort of future of human beings traveling in space, and how one of the cleaning droids, which is a space Roomba, they tape a knife to, and this becomes Stabby. And eventually they hook up a sensor to it, and to send out messages on a ship-to-ship micro-blogging site whenever Stabby has claimed another victim. And shortly thereafter, the human beings just acknowledge that anytime Stabby nicks you in the ankle, they move up and they claim your rank. And so by the end of the story, basically, people have started typing ship logs and stuff like that for Stabby. And somebody told the story of how Fleet Admiral Stabby came to be. And so yeah, Caboose, I just realized I've heard this one before. Yeah, Fleet Admiral Stabby. It's just a great collective storytelling thing from Tumblr, and it's fairly well documented over on Reddit, the evolution of the story, and it is one of my favorites. Space orcs, humans are space orcs, and Fleet Admiral Stabby are two of my favorite things to have come out of Tumblr. Yeah. So, Until the knife bit was reminding me of that episode of Twilight Zone where a prisoner on an empty planet fell in love with a fembot and didn't want to leave. Okay. Not familiar. But
Same concept. Well, you know.
let's see. Yeah, there's even a story. One of the stories somebody tells about Stabby is how Stabby received one of its first promotions, about how it stopped a raiding party of space pirates that had stowed away on a ship. And Stabby, like, just rolls into the room and stabs one of them in the ankle while they're trying to, like, stay low after they've kidnapped one of the ship members. And fucking because the sensors, it's, you know, Stabby's got another victim, goes out over this space Twitter, basically. They know they're there. And, yeah, all is said and done, what one of the tropes they use was the alien species that had raided in was allergic to zinc. And since the knife was a zinc alloy, it immediately kills them. And so, yeah, Stabby starts claiming victims, basically. Yeah, it's a fun series.
I'd have to look that up later.
Tumblr was so much fun before all the cool people left for hornier pastures. Dude, that was the stupidest fucking... Brendan Lee Mulligan, College Humor, the CEO series, the one on Tumblr, where he pretends to be the CEO of Tumblr and saying, doing the announcement like, hey, you know, we're trying to be more family friendly, is a great episode of that. You know, how much he's talking to the intern off camera. How much of our site do you estimate is porn? She's like 90, 98.
Nice.
Yeah. Like, oh, Jesus Christ. BLM is based. Both Brendan Lee Mulligan and Black Lives Matter. Brendan may actually be the best D&D DM. Like, that is, like, known. I know Mercer gets a lot of fucking credit, and he knows that system like the back of his fucking hand. Credit where credit's due, right? But Brendan has the comedic timing and sensibilities. He's a better actor. He, you know, yeah. I legitimately, if you watch Brendan on Roll20, whatever the high school one they did was really fucking good. The New York one is really good too. Yeah. You haven't seen anything about Austin Powers in a while, says Wither. God, I hope it stays that way. I'm not a fan of that series.
Really?
No, I think it's boring as fuck.
Oh, but it's funny.
As far as I can tell, Bureau of Land Management is better than the Forest Service. There's just less of them, so they fuck right off. That's basically it. BLM doesn't actually do anything much.
They just absorb tax dollars?
Yeah, basically. In all of the years that we blew stuff up, burned stuff, shot stuff, got inebriated, got entirely too high on things, like all of the like general federally illegal activities that we were conducting on BLM land in Arizona over the years, I legitimately don't think I saw. We might have seen one of the BLM like ranger officials maybe once. I think I remember one incident where we were camping up on the gravel pile in a mine. Hey Mitre, how was last night's show? It's okay.
Yeah, it was good.
And they drove by and we had to sort of like quiet down and stuff that night, but like just while they were there. I think once in 7-10 years worth of debauchery did we see somebody on BLM, right? Forest Service, you tend to come across them a little more. So I mean, as far as as far as I'm concerned, that's the appropriate amount to see government officials. Like,
well,
maybe
if there's any government service I'd ever consider working for, I at least have figured out a gig there.
Yeah, it's a solid gig. Like you're responsible for like it's one person responsible for like 1 billion fucking square miles. There's no way to do the job effectively, and I think everybody just kind of knows that. Like it's
Just grab a vape pen and chill.
yeah, basically. Forest Service has been closing all the roads our taxes paid for. It's lumber subsidies. It's public property. We're not allowed to access it. BLM roads out near Phoenix were all open last time I was out there. It's not that they were open, Rev. It's just that they don't close them. Yeah. It's not so much like, oh, hey, we left them open. It's more, hey, we're not going to bother closing them in the first place. So they could technically be closed. Like if you called like some administrative group, be like, hey, is it open? No, it's technically closed. You drive out there, they haven't done shit, right? That's
they may have done like that little like metal like bar thing that they always put up.
Yeah, like that's the appropriate amount to interact with these groups. Where was did I have it here? I had it here somewhere. I could have sworn I fucking saved that shit. Where did I, I could have sworn I saved it. So there's a subreddit. You're going to love this, cat. There's a subreddit called All the Left that's supposed to be leftist unity, inclusivity, that sort of fucking thing.
Okay, so how fast did this burn down?
It hasn't burned down yet. But so somebody posted an article linked that the AFL-CIO supports the Uyghur Genocide Prevention Act, and the mods immediately removed it and banned the user.
Of course. Yep, this is just the start.
Yeah.
Of course it's always the fucking... Dude, that's something I've noticed. It's always like the authoritarian leftists calling for left unity. Every time. They're always in control of those spaces.
Rev, right? That's my point. The Forest Service is closing them, and they give tickets out for it all the time out there. Yeah, I feel you, Rev. I feel you. Yeah. So yeah, it was. I had a good chuckle off of that one. Like all the left, the leftist unity, inclusivity space. Not that. Get out of here.
I'm just waiting for it to devolve into infighting and like like a story about the mods like doing some shady shit in DMs, like something like that. I'm just waiting for it. Give it like 2 months.
Hey, Seller, wasn't that a Beyonce song? Because Lib Left knows you should never trust authoritarians. It's it's true. There has been an influx of tanky mods in leftist subreddit spaces.
Oh, they've always been there though. Like r/communism, socialism, even some of the anarchist mods have like had some pretty like favorable like tanky leanings even before.
We've driven them out.
Really? Have they gone away?
Anarchism is a little rough, but Anarchy 101 and what's the other one I'm forgetting? I'm forgetting one of my other mainstays, but either way, yeah, 2 out of the 3 primary Anarchy subreddits cleaned house, basically.
Okay, cool. I might start browsing those subs again.
And then we have stuff like that has sprung up, Tanky Jerk and stuff like that, where it is explicitly anti-tanky.
Right.
Erica seems to get a lot of flack for being counter-revolutionary as far as I've seen. Here's the deal. Basically, everybody gets flack from tankies for being counter-revolutionaries because in their eyes, they're the only true revolutionaries, and cue Purge here. It's absolutely just fucking... Give me my political Reddit list, says Wither. Hey, Goofy, thank you for the resub, and Pony, thank you for the follow. That should pop here in a second. Yep, Twitch Unity. Dude, my subreddit list is like one of these days I'll try and get a comprehensive list together.
We're gonna need like a paste bin for this shit. Just cutting, just letting you know whether it's gonna be a long fucking list.
My subreddit list is not small. Uh,
There's r/collapse seller. That's probably the best one, to be frank with you. Whoever leads the fucking what's it called? The Vanguard
okay, so
party.
oh, who's in charge after the revolution? I can't sign up without that information. You've got a master's in Reddit lore, probably. Yeah, no, I really do. I've been around long enough. Yeah. I know all the major hits, and if something has slipped by me, I know exactly where to find it. We have archives for that sort of thing that we can go to and be like, all right, what was that about? Hey, without adjectives. Oh man, dude, I woke up like at 4:45 basically, after managing to eke out maybe 45 minutes of sleep. Like just that, that uncomfortable, like I'm forcing my eyes closed, like just please turn off for a moment. Fucking sleep. Tell me about the poop knife. Oh, the poop knife. Second only maybe to the poop sock. Yeah. That is a funny one. My favorite's the coconut. And yeah. My favorite will always be the coconut. I was there live for that one as that kid was telling that story, and those stories were being pulled and then being reposted because a lot of fucking subreddits were like, no, we don't know. No, this isn't our thing. Oh, I don't know. I think I could tell the coconut story on air. I don't think it violates Twitch TOS. But whether you want to hear the coconut story is another matter. I don't feel like raping people's ears with a story that, or for at least the men in the audience, the dudes are going to be a little uncomfortable with the story. But let's see, what do I have here? Seller. All right, long story short, a young man was utilizing a coconut with a hole drilled in it as a masturbatory aid. It wasn't a one-time event. It was a protracted, month-long sort of series of escapades. And by the end of it, the coconut had visitors. So he basically goes to utilize his bedside coconut, what would be the last time but would be legendary, begins to utilize said coconut and feels strange, and pulls said coconut away and looks in said coconut. And what the young man finds was a series of larvae, maggots, crawling all over inside the coconut. And when he recoils back and looks at his equipment, a maggot has made its way into his urethra. There you go. There's as pretty as I can make the coconut story for Twitch air. Yeah.
I like Seller's reaction.
No.
Just no. Just flat no.
Hey Stray, hey Ace. Rec, pro tip, change your fucking nut daily. Kinky, Rev said kinky. I think I've actually accidentally stumbled across that genre before. Yes, that's the coconut story in a nutshell. Yeah, I couldn't resist.
You motherfucker.
Couldn't resist it. So, yeah, I remember when he that young man brought that story to our attention the first time, and it was a good weekend. It was a good weekend on Reddit. We were all bemused and distracted from the horrors of the world for at least a moment.
Poor guy.
Yeah. Well. So 19 Kids and Counting star Joshua Duggar is facing child pornography charges.
Yay.
Yeah. 33-year-old, under 12.
God damn it.
Yeah. So that's a thing. They're maintaining innocence. He pleaded not guilty. His attorney said, in this country, no one can stop prosecutors from charging you with a crime, but when you're accused, you can fight back in the courtroom, and that's exactly what Josh intends to do. Yeah. The Duggar family said via their family website, "It is our prayer that the truth, no matter what it is, will come to light, and that this will all be resolved in a timely manner. We love Josh and Anna and continue to pray for their family." Apparently in 2016, the family announced he had completed treatment for sex addiction. This was after the show was canceled in 2015, after it was revealed that the eldest son had been investigated for molesting several girls, including 4 of his sisters, when he was a teenager. Fucking sure, I'll vote yes.
Like the people requested the poll, so I gave them the poll.
Can I suggest a bold a band streamer for that pun? Yeah, I've voted yes on myself.
Oh shit, Angie knew about that story.
Yeah, it's fairly. I always wondered if he went through the holes and if he had a thin one on top of being sick fuck. Yeah, it's it's pretty decent Reddit lore at this point. Welcome
back, Caboose.
Let's see. Market anarchist. Jesus Christ. Market anarchism is basically the public ownership of the economy. We're gonna, right? How are public utilities paid under market anarchists without a state?
They're like communally funded. Usually, like the syndicate would come together and
Same way we kind of do it now, frankly.
Yeah, pretty much. Basically taxes, but with like less middlemen. And it's voluntary.
Is it just my anti-theist confirmation bias, or is it usually the religious ones? No, Rev, you're right. Sorry. There's a subreddit called Pastor Arrested. If you want to really confirm your bias, r/pastor arrested. It's just priests and pastors and nuns and people of the cloth, basically being documented. Just
wait, Mitre, why?
Yeah, what happened?
Fucking anarchists without adjectives doesn't like taxes, and Mitre decided that was a ban-worthy offense. Or fucking, I don't. Mitre, what are you doing, buddy?
We don't know why yet.
Mitre, you gotta
we don't know why. Sorry.
We're having like a live mod meeting right now in front of all of you.
It's just fucking. There's nobody here. There's like 25 people here. There's nobody here. Let's have a mod meeting. Mitre was.
No, that's just the correct answer.
That's because you didn't pay taxes. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. I don't care. We're doing this live, motherfuckers. Cat.
Looks like
yeah.
Looks like you're banned.
Oh, well, it is what it is.
Just end stream.
You'll be happy to know I have another one, Cat, so you'll be able to.
I still need to go back and fucking get that clip, dude. That shit was amazingly funny.
Himself, I'm hoping that it's musculature based on the inflammation has died down a little bit, and I think it is located in and around near the delt. So I'm hoping it's musculature rather than ligature. But it's still a little sore for sure.
I mean, it fucking sucks regardless.
Yeah. Mitre, sorry, my computer fucked up.
Okay, so he was slapping his dick against the keyboard, folks.
Yeah, that's what
the
that
canon
was.
explanation.
Are
you gonna deep throat the glass though? Asked Premarital.
My mouth doesn't open that far, Premarital. I can't unhinge my jaw like an anaconda such as yourself. So yeah, not gonna be able to do that.
It's counter-revolutionary.
Water on your trackpad. No es bueno. Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, if anybody would suggest like a bait title just for the fun of it, like I don't mind. We can throw something in there. But right now, water-based lube, not without additives. It's not. Water is a terrible lubricant, unless you add something to it, for sure. Yeah, you learn that lesson really quickly as a teenager. Fucking the myth of having sex in a hot tub or in the shower, like, oh, it's so, and then everybody tries it and we're like, oh, so the people saying that shit were virgins. Got it. Those were the, people that were talking a big game but not actually fucking.
Right. Yeah, shower sex is like probably one of the most dangerous things you can do, just period.
Yeah.
Like, just straight up.
Estrella is maintaining that without adjectives must be the sacrifice because the gods have spoken. Through
nice.
Meat Tray's trackpad, apparently. Which is about as accurate as how the gods speak to human beings historically. So, might as well run with it. Save water, shower with a partner. Except showering with a partner isn't showering. Showering with a partner is your partner standing in the water while you shiver in the background. That's not showering. It's bullshit. Yeah. I just... let's see. Two-headed shower. Well, look at fucking Mr. Bougie fucking vice president over here with fucking multi-headed showers and shit. Like,
fucking straight triggered.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
One of the bougie giant, yeah.
Yep. You need one of the bougie giant showers. Angie saw the guzzle of the nasty shake yesterday. Thought I accidentally stumbled into a fetish stream. P.S. I have another flavorless protein recommendation that'll help you get your macros without gagging. Let me know if you're interested. The protein contents usually aren't high enough.
That's fucking great. You do have like that very like expressive I just want to fucking die face when it happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Do I have any suggestions? Today my suggestion, yes, I have suggestions. Not for market anarchist books and articles on the basics of it, but I have suggestions for today, without adjectives. Here's what I suggest. Come to bad movie night, get high, forget about all of that for a couple of hours. That's my suggestion.
By the way, just read Prud'homme. Also Bakunin.
Oh, yeah.
They'll give you like, yeah.
Yeah.
They're the big boys to look to.
Yeah, I suppose that's it. Like, fucking Cat not being... Like, I get to... Like, we sort of tap in and out on that. So it's since I'm being the, like, sort of laissez-faire and, fucking just blasé smartass at the moment, Cat will give you an actual answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Proudhon would speak to that quite a bit, actually. But...
We got a Sweet Boy raid coming in, apparently.
Which,
I mean, I'm not mad at.
Whatever.
To be fair,
I'm okay. It's okay. Now. It's okay without adjectives. I get it. It's just it's Friday. I've been up entirely too long. I'm looking forward to a particularly bad Neil Breen movie tonight. I just kind of I kind of want to just fast forward to that. And let's see, what did Angie... Oh, no, it was Estrella.
Talking about politics too much, I'm sorry, says anarchist without adjectives.
In the future, you could post the children anarchist books in the Discord. There's some kids I need to radicalize. Okay, Estrella, I will try to remember to get on that.
You know, here's the hottest of hot takes. We probably shouldn't be looking to radicalize kids. It'd be nice if we didn't do that. Controversial, I know.
Oh, Rev, yeah, hotel shower, like short showers, yeah, fucking A. Love it. Thank you, premarital. Updating now. Brezhnev and Thatcher's love child reappears in Manila?
Nah. It's not a bad one.
That's what you get for doing water cooling. I have a thing against water cooling. It's just a pain in the ass.
I mean, also air cooling is just like better. Like just straight up, it delivers lower temps than fucking. You know what I mean?
Swede. I sorry though that your new memory is too tall. Like I know when builds don't go right, it's a pain in the fucking ass.
Memory is one of the easier components to get swapped out, though. So yeah.
Go baby army, go. Says Weather. Let's see.
I like it, me Trey. Cat is a Volkswagen fan, apparently. Get the fuck out of here. Don't do me like that. Well, here. Okay, you know what? Here's how I would like if you really want to create a generation of left-leaning people, just teach them like basic scientific methods and principles and like how to like spot like, you know, how to like do just basic like information gathering. Because here's the fucking thing. If you actually teach someone like how to like interact with the world accurately, they're going to be moved towards left-leaning positions anyways. You know, as the saying goes, fucking reality has a liberal bias. So just fucking teach them how to be like functioning human adults. Curb any authoritarian tendencies you'll see, and you'll probably end up with someone who's at minimum socialist leaning, and at best, you know, is gonna find their way into anarchist circles anyways. That's it. It's like pretty much, yeah. That's pretty much what I'm saying, Caboose. Just teach people how to think for themselves, how to, you know, spot, you know, how to read data and shit. They'll turn into lefties.
So. Fucking study from the Fed. Spending habits of millennials are often blamed for killing industries, but a new study by the Fed backs up the idea that it's less about how they're spending and more about them not having money to spend. Imagine needing a Fed study to realize that. How many million did that study cost? Oh.
Amazing.
Yeah,
that's pretty much like the conversation that always comes to my head when I hear people like Caboose. That's pretty much the conversation I always hear in my head whenever people like ask to how they make their kids like more left leaning. It's just fucking teach them how to think and they'll get there. Leave them alone. Let them be kids. You know?
Exactly himself. The Pentagon has canceled all of the contracts for Trump's border wall.
Oh, it's finally over?
It's finally over.
Thank fucking Christ. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It was such a fucking waste of money.
Yeah, that chapter we can turn the page on that chapter finally.
Thank fucking God. That's like, you know, that's the thing that I always laugh at when people like about like fiscal responsibility. Like, Republicans have always spent on stupid shit that just isn't like fiscally responsible in any capacity. Like the fucking border wall. It's insane. There was no way that was gonna pay itself back.
Oh, adorable. Social USA Parasite says, is it racist to close the borders and stop importing cheap labor? No, it's just illogical and an ill-conceived idea to start with. If you want to address that topic, you have to address it in a different way.
Yeah, like for example, like if you really are like have like such a hard on for like stopping illegal immigration, revise the visa system. Fucking, you know, find ways to allow these people to
maybe address
just,
the businesses that are utilizing said imported cheap
there's no way
labor.
to do that without like destroying capitalism.
Oh, interesting. It's an interesting road we could go down.
Well, yes, it is, but that's obviously not what he's asking for.
It's like when the fucking right wingers start yelling about big tech censoring shit. It's like,
Right,
oh,
it's like,
interesting. So you want to restrict businesses' abilities and rights? All right, I'm. Let's have that conversation. Let's go down that road. But I don't think you're ready for that.
But yeah.
Walls became largely ineffective with the invention of airplanes.
That's what I'm fucking saying. Like, if you really have like this hard on for like fucking stopping illegal immigration, either A, you soften the fuck out of like immigration laws and just make it easier to get the fuck in here, or B, fucking you address the visa system. Building a big fuck you wall isn't gonna do. I mean, it's gonna do something, but like, it's not like,
to be perfectly honest, I live in the Southwest. Kat's Latino to start with. Do you realistically, Kat, think that a wall could keep the Latino people out?
Fuck no. They can get sponsored by fucking people. There's whole communities in here that like you know, that are willing to like get people in. You know, if we're talking about like drug mules and shit, they're not fucking hopping the wall. They're like taking planes and shit and stuff and, you know, stuff and shit up their
I
ass
believe
and
the
shit.
statistic is 84%.
Of like drugs come through like planes.
No,
Yeah.
just 84% of illegal immigrants overstay a travel visa.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, the wall isn't going to address the numbers that you want to address. If you want to talk about illegal immigration in this country, the vast overwhelming majority of them come in perfectly legally. They just overstay a visa. Right? Like, the wall isn't going to do shit for that.
Yeah, it's just a matter of like swinging our dicks around. That's the only reason why the wall was going up.
It's just a dumb idea. It's again security theater. It's like the TSA at the airports. It's there to make you feel better. That's it. It's not actually functional. It doesn't do anything really. It doesn't address the root causes. It doesn't even address the symptoms accurately. But it makes you feel better.
Yeah.
So, you know, or we could talk about the Chinese and the Mongols and see how well a wall works at the end of the day.
Or abolish all borders. I mean, that is true, anarchist without adjectives, but like nobody's like realistically like doing that within our lifetimes. I will just bet a fuckload of money on us just not abolishing borders.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Yeah. But yeah, don't look for that. That's not coming to a...
I mean, different currencies, different labor markets. Like, it would be like a logistical nightmare if we just snapped our fingers and poof, no more borders. Fuck.
88%. No. This is blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Cupcake.
Yeah, this is just the flow of drugs or illicit substances. Yeah. Lovely.
That's not really true either. So, like social USA, like they're like plenty of like big countries are real big on just like having a nice steady load of immigration. The problem is that is just like they're like the only reason why we don't do it is just because a bunch of like paranoid right wingers think it's gonna like destroy their like livelihood or some shit.
I just am curious, like about those like 1800s and 1900s waves of like basically unrestricted immigration that we allowed. Like, just put your fucking name on a book. Like, what's your name, bro? Cool. I'm gonna put it in the book. You're good. You're in. Like, that was the extent of our border control for a very, very long time. And we were arguably growing faster, becoming a global powerhouse, well on our way to becoming a superpower. Only desperate, failing countries with low birth rate support weak borders. Was like industrial era USA a failing country with low birth rates because they supported weak borders? Like, it just doesn't hold water as a statement, either contemporarily or historically. Like, it's just a provably, demonstrably false statement. So, that.
Yeah, I mean, and then there's also the fact that, like, we know that, like, countries can't stop that process of their birth rates failing. Like, we're in a situation where, like, we're watching, like, Japan. Like, Japan's gonna die within our lifetimes because they just refuse to have immigration for so fucking long. And now they're in a situation where we're looking at, like, literal, like, countrywide collapse, even if they like opened their borders completely and took fuckloads of immigrants.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, socially, baby.
Is that in good faith? Because quite frankly, I mean, I would be gringo. Not all of us are fucking a billion years old like I am, right? Cat's only 20. Like, it's possible. It's possible.
Fuck. You people need to look into this shit. I think it's something like the average age in Japan. I think it's like somewhere like in like the 40s or some fucking shit.
Yeah, which is not a great sign.
Yeah, dude. No, I'm telling you, like the labor market in Japan is going to fucking collapse, and it is going to collapse hard.
It's 48 years old.
Okay, so like almost 50. This is what I'm telling you. It's gonna happen.
It's the second highest in the world.
Yeah, buddy. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen within our lifetimes. I have no faith in Japan from being able to recover into that, because knowing them, they're probably still going to refuse to open the borders in the end anyways, so they're just going to die. Well, basically, Wither, you overwork the fuck out of your population to the point where it's like totally unfeasible for anyone to consider having a family. And you do that for a couple of generations, and everybody just starts saying, yeah, we're just not going to have any fucking kids. Sorry, it's not worth it in any level.
Gringo, the oldest is Monaco.
That's surprising.
Not really, if you understand the demographics. It's essentially a fucking rich guy tax haven.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Hey, Cassidy. Baby, sweetheart, boo-boo. Get it together.
Wait, who?
I don't worship China, maybe. That's why I don't know about Uyghurs.
Just worship China, you motherfucker.
Yeah, okay. That's why people are aware of that, is because they worship China. For sure. That's a general criticism that's often lobbied at people who bring up China committing genocide, is that they are bootlicking and worshiping China by pointing out China is actively committing genocide. That's a logical conclusion. Yeah, 100%. For sure. Sure. Totally makes sense, too. Property listings in Monaco are in 3 languages: English, Arabic, and Russian. Wonder why Arabic and Russian? Oil money. Yeah, it's
Don't bring up that fucking gringo. I can't handle it.
That's something I've always found ironic about a lot of conservative ideals. They want an overworked culture like in Japan, the fucking grind they love to boast about, but then they complain about declining white births, which is a result of the grind culture they fucking want. Look, Caboose, you're looking for logical consistency? That's... I don't know what you're doing, my man.
I was talking about weak USA borders and America's obsession with importing cheap labor. But I mean, like, China does the same shit. I mean, they're literally creating, like, all sorts of initiatives across the third world so that they can stop being the people exporting their cheap labor. They're trying to become the America of the
Chinese
East.
government there.
Yeah, look at the Belt and Roads Initiative, the fucking moves they're making over in Latin America right now. They're encroaching on the Philippines, their trade deals with Thailand, Vietnam, and so on. Like, they're definitely not on the we're just going to keep to ourselves and just work away.
Wait, you're telling me that China isn't isolationist? Interesting. That's a new concept.
Yeah.
All right. Fucking... Oh, God, I'm going to do some of this. I'm not fucking chugging the whole thing. But I am going to drink some of this.
Okay.
Fucking pray for me.
Very excited to enjoy this.
Yeah, pray for me. A foam slick, an inch and a half has formed at the top of it. So hang on, let me collapse that. Angie, thank you. It never gets old.
Dude,
it's gonna end up being a fucking segment. I swear to God. Oh God, it smells horrible.
You know what we need to do? We need to get like a compilation. Like after you've done this enough times, to get like a compilation of you just chugging these fucking things.
Oh. Expired Baileys. we said still get fucking drunk. No, yeah, chalky milk. No. It is most assuredly not, and thank you for the follow, Rubicon. It is most assuredly not chocolate flavored. Not even carob. What you're seeing is the result of pea protein isolate and a mycogenic mix that I put in as well. So there's like 10 different mushrooms and stuff in it. So yeah, basically there's just a bunch of brown stuff in it. But none of it is flavorful. Well, it's full of flavor, just not good flavor. Yeah.
Also, social USA, there's like literally no way to fucking what's it called? Stop cheap corporate labor. Like that's just like why? How? Like logistically, how do you even fucking stop that? Like if a business owner can cut overhead costs, why wouldn't they?
It's literally a feature of capitalism.
Yeah, it's like if you can pay your workers less and get a higher profit, why wouldn't you?
And Mitra saying unions.
I would actually push back against that. I think that would actually create a higher incentive for like fucking companies to use cheap imported labor. Like
I think if you did it in a vacuum, yes, it would. I think that unions plus a couple other things is the answer if you want to go down that road. Yes, unions for the workers, but you also you need to have some level of political class involvement so you can institute some legislation to protect the process, because what Kat is saying is valid. Right, like it's going to create a counterweight if you push back on that income and that revenue stream. So they're going to seek cheaper labor elsewhere. And if you don't make it illegal or regulate that or make it financially inviable, then yeah, they would naturally do what Kat's talking about. So yeah, it's more of a multi-pronged attack of which unions can play a role. But good luck getting that rolling these days.
Well, yeah, Rev Roth. I actually agree. It's just, my thing is that, like, I think just unionizing workers in the first world wouldn't really stop, like, essentially business owners from just looking towards imported labor in order to, basically cut on overhead costs. Like, the real sad, like, thing that I would actually contend with is that I think that, like, the way that we could realistically influence the policies of the third world in order to actually prevent that sort of situation is essentially working with them on international trade deals in order to liberalize, like, working conditions outside of those places, so they have more incentive to either stay in their country or understand that, like, the union structure wouldn't ever be like a thing that could escape. So, in other words, we actually have to work with, like, the state apparatus and all sorts of, like, huge market-based fucking entities in order to actually affect that sort of change. It would have to be like an internationalist thing.
Social USA or whatever your name is, I'm sorry. I'm from Vegas. That much I'll help you out with. Yeah. I think that's. I mean, that's just what I'm getting at, me, Trey. Is you not necessarily need to, you need to de-incentivize, and yet also carrot and stick. Carrot and stick is all I'm saying. Put some shit in place that makes it extraordinarily expensive for them to participate in that that labor market, or difficult, and then incentivize them somewhere else. But again, all of this also, by the way, falls under the heading of, hey, by the way, we have too many jobs as it is.
That is true.
Yeah. Like, y'all are busy trying to find busy work for humanity. Meanwhile, what we need to do is retool our logistics system, because the fact of the matter is that 25% of the jobs are bullshit jobs anyway. So.
It's fair.
Yeah. Like, we trying to fill seats. Meanwhile, we need to be getting rid of those seats to start with.
Right. I believe in the $15 minimum wage, but open borders won't let that happen. Why pay Americans their worth when you can just import cheap labor? Well,
I have
that's the thing, is if you make them citizens, you're still forced to pay them 15 in the end anyways.
Oh, I actually have Immigrants act more as job creators than takers. A set of researchers found that immigrants not only expand labor supply as workers, but also expand labor demand as founders of firms, and do so at a higher rate than native-born counterparts. But hang on.
Of course. Well, that's the thing, is like that's that ties into the fact that they also commit less crimes, like, as a population. Like, essentially what happens is when you expand the labor force, you also expand the spending market as well, and you give native spenders a higher a higher value for their dollar. So what essentially happens is when you take immigrant workers, you essentially supercharge that market, and what that basically allows people to do is cheaper labor costs allow for higher profits to be had, and those higher profits can then be distributed into tax programs and incomes, and we find that children of manual laborers tend to go on to higher education, which would then lead them to having much more opportunity costs. Immigrants help
every single one of these topics, and pylord, but they still dilute the labor market. Look, every one of these fucking topics is covered in Open Borders, Science and Ethics of Immigration. It's fully fucking sourced and referenced in the back if you want to, dive into it. But it's written in a super digestible, comic book format that even your boomer parents can understand. But then if you want to read the studies that back up any of this sort of stuff, it is fully referenced in the back. And things like the myth of the labor dilution, the terrorist aspect, the actual economics of what it means to influx a certain amount of labor, and how you're actually leaving money on the table by not doing this sort of thing is covered firmly in this book. So feel free to pick it up and throw Brian and Zach some of your dollary dues. Yeah. People have sat down and studied this stuff and wrote about it to a larger extent than, frankly, we're ever going to be able to cover in any amount of time on this channel. So I will just point you to some interesting sources, and you can see for yourselves and read for yourselves how that works. It also goes into cultural aspects. Yeah. It's kind of... we've been here and done this sort of territory.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Cupcake. Like, if anything, immigrants would be helping that software dev because, you know, like them being able to work allows for cheaper products for his ass to consume, which, you know, creates taxes and all, you know, a nice tax revenue stream, like all that, like that sort of shit. That dude's just fucking racist. Just straight out.
I'm not literally everything, Caboose. Some of the stuff was here before we got here.
That is true.
Say,
you did, you know, there. You gotta sprinkle in a bit of violent colonization there.
some of it was, yeah.
Wait, cheaper products? Rev, no. This okay. I gotta do like the Econ 101 shit here, don't I? So, if you have a business, costs about like $70,000 like to run because you're paying everyone like minimum or whatever is like slightly above the minimum wage. What you essentially do is that if your products can bring in about like let's say like fucking like $90,000 worth of revenue. So majority of that goes into paying workers, goes into like keeping upkeep for whatever license you have, whatever the fuck. So you're not really left with a lot of fucking profit. What you can essentially do is you can if you get an immigrant like labor force and you can pay them the minimum wage or lower, it is unethical, but like, you know, you essentially have a much higher profit margin to work with. So that means that you can either A, expand your business and then hire more people, or B, you can just pocket the profit and that can be used as all like sort of like tax programs and such. But essentially, if you can drive down the prices of your products and sell them to more people, all like, you know, think Walmart or like Dollar Tree or any of those sorts of fucking things, then you can create like you know, it still yields you more profit in the end because you don't have to pay your workers as much. You know, it's extraction of surplus labor value. Capitalism 101.
Cupcake, I mean, we can, I suppose.
I'm down.
If dude man, Social USA. If you want to get on air and have the conversation, by all means, you can get on the air and have the conversation. Okay, so everything with the exception of the violent colonization is a result of immigration.
Pretty much, yes.
I will accept that as an answer, Caboose.
That's accurate.
Yeah, because things. Well, the first thing that my mind went to was barbacoa, and barbacoa was already here. Like that's, you know, born of the Caribbean, and so, you know, I was like, well, but one of my favorite food and cooking styles was already here. Like it didn't get imported. Yeah. Let's see. Hey, Zippy. Dude, Estrella, that would be amazing. The economy and borders are fake. People should be allowed to go where they please. Yes, they should. But, you know, human beings are still attached to some goofy ideas. And in that list of goofy ideas is imaginary lines we drew on the ground, and we're pretending they're real. We're children. Our species is that of children.
Also, Rev, it does actually, a lot of it does get pocketed, but like that, the argument then follows that if these businesses are pocketing that shit or expanding their businesses, or like otherwise not expanding their businesses, then the next logical conclusion would be like introducing like social democratic reforms to, allow people to distribute that wealth more efficiently. So, things like Medicare for all, et cetera, would be used to like, keep that money still moving and shit, you know? So it's that sort of thing.
Peach Pie. I know you lost chat there for a second, but I've been seeing what you're saying, and I know where you're going with it. And you're actually accurate, despite what a lot of people, I think, are how they're interpreting how you're coming at that problem. It really does work that way. And I think you can use a microcosmic example, even though it's, for many people would be the macro, of because Peach Pie is making the argument that the rise of remote work will actually undermine the resource base of richer, wealthier nations. And you can see examples of that in California. A lot of the new remote workers of California tech firms are going elsewhere. There was already a flight out of California. And so, but the fact of the matter is that many of them are moving to cheaper places to exist. Nevada, Texas, Florida, who have, lower or no state income taxes, stuff like that. And if you expand that example out to the macro, like what Peach Pie is doing, that the inevitability is if remote work really does become a norm for at least a significant segment of the population, then what you're going to see is employees from wealthier nations go to less wealthy nations. And you're going to see things like, American tech workers moving to Belize or Ecuador or Czechia or Croatia, or, that sort of thing. That like lower cost of living, and I can live wherever the fuck I want. If I want to live on the Croatian coast, then I can live on the Croatian coast. And I can do my job from anywhere. So, yeah, no, I think that's a logical extension of a process we're already seeing happen.
No, Zippy, I'm fine with them gentrifying places if it leads to a higher quality of life for the natives. I'll bite that bullet fucking hard, son. There are plenty of places in Mexico that would love some Californian money. I'll tell you straight up. It's just like some places desperately need that foreigner income.
I was watching one of the newer Grand Tours, and they went to Detroit. And they were having so much fun racing cars up and down the streets and stuff, and like the deserted suburbs. Like the cops would just shut it all down for them, and they could have the whole town. And they decided to go into the like downtown area of Detroit, and the first thing you see is like the hats and the mustaches, and the fucking. I just started laughing my ass off, and Jeremy's like, "Oh my god, the hipsters are here," and I'm like, "Yep, they're gentrifying it." That's what happens. It's a process that we've seen happen time and time and time again. This is not new. You can go all over the Rust Belt and find instances of this. You can find it in, boroughs of New York. You can find it basically everywhere. That this is the process. And so, yeah, like there's going to be a global gentrification that happens. Like that's a thing.
I welcome it. No, just straight up, I welcome it.
That's a thing that's going to happen. Yeah, you're gonna find that.
Yeah, people are.
You find it already in places you're like, well, that would, it happens in China. Wealthy families and individuals who made it in the cities go back to the rural areas, and they built like one billionaire built up like 250 buildings in his home village. Like he just was like, let's renovate everything. I'm here to pay. Like I'll pay for it all. And so, yeah, gentrification is a naturalistic process of sorts within at least the capitalistic model is how we're applying it. So yeah, you're going to be able to extrapolate that from a micro to a macro, and there's going to be a global gentrification that happens. Yeah.
Zippy, I hear what you're saying, but like, let me put it like my point is that like that's kind of just the growing pains of like leaving these places like decimated regardless. Like I said, these places in Mexico that I'm talking about, they're kind of fucked regardless. They could use the tourism money, or even people just moving out there and investing in like local markets and shit. Like it's like economics 101. If you're a place that isn't like a major exporter, then your only option is to rely on like a national or international business or tourism to come in and like, spice some shit up. So my thing is that if there's a bunch of like Californian tech bros like moving all over the fucking place and creating basically pocket communities for like rural areas and poorer places, then at minimum they're spending on the commodities that are provided to them by those communities, which is still, an economic plus for those areas.
Cassidy, congratulations on getting back into your studio, by the way.
Yes, Huffmaster, but what that essentially does is that moves them towards like cheaper areas, which would then, spark up the labor markets of those areas, and then the people that are rich now in the new areas move over. Like it basically just keeps going.
Yeah, it's a never-ending cycle. Look,
Yeah.
I mean, we could, in most days we would. Most days we'd attack the process of capitalistic, the capitalistic iteration. But right now we're just talking about what it looks like, right? Like, look, we could be sitting here doing Marxian critiques of this process. But right now we're just talking about what the theoretical expansion of this process looks like. What does it look like when this goes to the next step? Because I highly doubt you're going to have, your anti-capitalist revolution tomorrow. So it behooves most of us as realistic, pragmatic individuals contained within this world to understand how a few of these things work and how they unfold in the future. And it's useful to do this sort of style of analysis and discussion about these processes. Because, frankly, it's coming to a town near you.
Yeah. And there's no way to stop it unless you just want to break the system tomorrow.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, while gentrification sucks, I'd recognize that like overall it sets the foundations for a more like productive society, which could be used to, like leaven the growing pains of these areas. Because again, a lot of these areas are like kind of fucked without it.
And Shala, I'm in the same camp. I mean, for fuck's sake, I'm an anarchist. I'm an idealist by nature. But, I'd like to hope, and I do my best. I teach and, expand the cause as best I can to my ability. But, yeah, pragmatically thinking about the situation is, I think, as punk rock as anything can get, right? Like, come on. There comes a point where you have to realize what's up and do what you got to do. But yeah, no, these are naturalistic, phenomena within the capitalistic model. And you can extrapolate these sort of like causal effects from the micro to the macro. And we've seen gentrification enough times to know the process. We've seen what capital flight looks like. We understand the ramifications of that. It's not that new. It's just being applied in a scope and scale that we're not used to yet. But I think entering into the new era, Gen Z especially is going to have to, they're going to be neck deep in that for quite some time. And yeah, whatever the generation after them. Are we going back to Gen A? I could have sworn somebody said we're going back to Gen A. They're definitely going to be uniquely involved in that.
Well, the question I have is, will automation outpace this? On a long enough timeline,
Squeak?
Maybe, but not yet.
Peach Pie, my answer as a technologist, will automation outpace this? Solely depends on whether we reclaim the revenue stream from automation. If automation remains if the ruling oligarchical class remains the sole benefactor of the automative processes within the information era, then no, it probably won't outpace it. If we redistributed that those resource gains, be they time, money, energy, expenditure, doesn't matter, just those resource gains that automation can cause for us as a human species from that class group, then I think that there's a solid chance that it could actually, that automation could become the defining factor within that, you know, AI automation, and automatic like product and resource creation, that sort of thing. Yeah, I think it's a contender, but I don't know if we're having that conversation even yet. That things like algorithms and AIs and automated machines and autonomous machines should be taxpayers, right? Like that's sort of the core concept that we're discussing, that like, sure, Bill Gates, maybe your company created an algorithm that automated, you know, 10,000 jobs. Those 10,000 jobs still technically exist, and your AI, your algorithm, your code, your machines are going to become the substitute taxpayers in that situation, and will be contributing to the furthering and the running of the machinery of the system, as it were. So happy Dead Hitler Day, everyone. That was like, oh yeah, is it today? Depends where you are.
Wait, people unironically read like Hoppa? Oh no. That's a discovery to me. Makes me lose just a little bit more faith in humanity.
And yes, Wither. So yeah, happy Dead Hitler Day, everyone. Hey, I mean, say what you will about Adolf Hitler. He killed Adolf Hitler. So, I mean, he's not all bad. Let's see. Suck it, Nazballs. Reason.
Yeah, Dimitri, I thought. Yeah, I got confused there. I thought. Yeah, I thought that went without saying.
Sorry, Rev. Yeah, best thing Hitler did. The best thing Hitler ever. Damn, you beat me to it. He also killed Adolf Hitler's dog, so yeah, he's bad. Well, like I said, he's not all bad. He killed Adolf Hitler. The other stuff, yeah, pretty. From what I've heard, not a great guy. Seems like kind of a dick. You know, it's just one man's opinion. What are you gonna do? Hey, and I said hey there, Squee, earlier, but Squee, love it that you're gonna get high as fuck. And thank you for making me your favorite anarchist. If you're still around after the stream, Squee, over on Discord, we do bad movie night, and if you're high as fuck, you're probably gonna enjoy the shit out of it. So
It's nice to
yeah, if you want to swing by and participate later, love to have you.
It's nice to hear from you, Squee. I hope you're still. I hope you're still staying away from the bottle. I'm real proud to hear about that.
Neil Breen, Double Down.
Yeah. It's very much a movie that it will lend well to you getting high as fuck.
Rock on. Squee is not drinking.
Yeah, buddy. That's my boy.
Fucking the Squee arc.
That's nice to hear. It's nice to hear.
Yep, fucking sober brothers. Mitra's been sober for, well, not sober, but hasn't been drinking for 19 weeks. So
That's nice to hear. Well, nice to hear from you too, Mitra. Fuck.
yeah. Look at all you look at all you degenerate motherfuckers getting your shit together. I'm proud of you fucks.
You know, I'm fine with just like considering sober, like just smoking weed. You know?
Yeah, Rev, no, I really do think it is logistical problems. Like a third of the world is starving, but we throw away half the food. Like logistical problem. Yeah, this is just a resource allocation issue.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like we produce fuckloads. Production has only been going up. Like scarcity should definitely be rounded off like way more than it is.
Yep. It's a logistics issue. I legitimately, like, we have all of the technology to give every single person in this world a magical device called a smartphone that they could have an app installed that could geolocate them, and at a push of a button could have a drone fly overhead within a certain time frame and spot deliver them food packages or water packages. Like, that's a thing we can do. Like, nothing I just said is science fiction. Everything within that statement is 100% technology that already exists. And we could automate the whole goddamn thing. We just don't.
We also just gotta like stop living in places that are like inhospitable. Like cities like Las Vegas, fucking Phoenix and shit, they just shouldn't exist. Like
Agreed.
they're just a resource drain. Just straight up.
Because monetary incentive. Let's see. Mismanagement of resources over some sense of competition between companies and people in positions they're not actually capable of doing. So Duffy, yes. Caboose, I actually miss living in Phoenix. I can't imagine why. Hey, OG. I loved Arizona. Dude, I lived in Arizona for a number of years too, but not anywhere near Phoenix. I was in the northwest of the state. Phoenix shouldn't exist.
Yeah. I 100% agree with what was it, Peggy? You know, it's just a city that is an affront to God.
Yeah, it's Peggy.
It's humanity's middle finger to the environment.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna be right back.
Interesting. No, the heat doesn't bother me. Let's see. Sam Kinison bit about the African children kills me. Shouting about moving where the food is from freaking Los Angeles. Straight up giving up on language. Now, we already live in a post-scarcity society. There's no two ways about that. You can't convince me otherwise. There's no, like, all of the data is in on this. We live in a post-scarcity society already. The fact of the matter remains is the only reason we have scarcity is because it's artificial. It's mismanagement, it's logistics issues, and it's lack of willpower in those areas. The food development is already done. The production rates are there. The technology for distribution and allocation is there. We already live in a post-scarcity society. We just aren't doing it. That's all. So... Are you social USA? Are you sober now? Like, did you kick the tweak and the booze? The only thing I remember from being in Las Vegas is the smell of cigarettes. OG, it's pervasive on a level. It's gotten better. A lot of the places have gone non-smoking. But yeah, it's still very much, especially Old Town, and some of the old Henderson haunts that a lot of the old timers really dig. Yeah, those places just, you could drive by them and you smell the cigarette smoke. Capitalism, yeah. I mean, yeah. Yes, I know you like money, Squee. I understand your attraction to the system. But the system is murdering people. Maybe it's time to revisit it. No, I think it's more, again, this is back to the logistics and resource allocation, Peach Pie. I think that the upper capacity, the cap load for the planet is much higher. It all depends on how you spend those resources, right? Like, I don't think we've reached it. I don't think we'll reach it anytime soon. But if you're not allocating those resources expeditiously, then what you find is, of course, a resource limit. You know, if my garden is capable of growing 100 pounds of potatoes and I let 90% of those 90 pounds of those potatoes spoil in the field and only use 10% as the main harvest, then, you know, the capacity load for the garden looks differently. It looks different as a result of that. But if you actually utilized it, then it becomes a different issue. So yeah, this is just back to my conversation about logistics and resource allocation. And I think the world is a good world. And if we treat it correctly and we give it what it needs, then the production and resource gain out of it could very much surprise us. But we're not doing very well at that right now. Have you ever been to Heart Attack Grill? Angie, no, I have never been to the Heart Attack Grill. I'm plenty aware of it, though. And yes, over 350 pounds. I forget what the amount is, but over a certain weight, you eat for free. If you fail to finish your meal, a scantily clad waitress in a nurse's uniform will take you up front and paddle you in front of the restaurant as a form of punishment. Yeah, it's well known around these parts. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, they're known for, you know, burgers like that and shit. Over 350 pounds. That's it. Yeah, it's over 350 pounds and you eat free.
Cheese and bun turned.
Shut the fuck up. Just give me a picture. I just want a timestamp for something. All right. Images. There you go. So this is kind of like a standard burger at the Heart Attack Grill, and here is one of the wait staff, and they put you in a dressing gown as well. It's a whole fucking shtick they do. So there's the Heart Attack Grill. Yeah, it's an affront to just existence itself. Oh, somebody, Shala, how much is it in kilograms? 158, something like that. 158 kilos, basically the territory you're in. Michelle, I walked past that when I went to Vegas. Yeah. I wish you luck, and maybe one day you'll head back into at least somewhat sobriety. Social USA. It's a pretty self-destructive route you're headed down on that one.
All right, I'm back. Who's self-destructing here?
Social USA, just talking about how they used to like boulder and stuff, and then they got addicted to meth and alcohol, and they haven't found their way clean of that, it seems like.
Oh.
So.
Well, that might okay. Well. All right then.
And we were talking about the Heart Attack Grill here in Las Vegas, and then somebody was asking about population cap on the planet. And so, yes, that's sort of the recap. Have you ever seen the Heart Attack Grill? Do you know about this?
No, I haven't I haven't been.
Oh,
I've seen like, a few commercials here and there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like some ads, but nah, I haven't been.
yeah. There's one of the hamburgers or cheeseburgers, I should say, and there's the wait staff. Yeah, over 350 pounds, and you eat for free.
Well, there you go.
And if you fail to finish your meal, the waitress takes you up front and bends you over and paddles you in front of the restaurant.
All right.
It's Vegas.
All right. That's it. Yeah.
It's Vegas.
It's
what we do. The octuplet bypass. Thank you, Duffy.
That.
Yeah, it's you know, again, one of those things that shouldn't exist. Apparently, the UNAM, so Mexican University, they are on strike. They've been on strike for apparently 6 weeks because the administrators are getting paid thousands, but the teachers have not been compensated. So yeah, the teachers have not been paid, and so the students have gotten in on the strike now as well, apparently. And so let's see. Posted on in Anarchism. Somebody dropped a YouTube link. Oh my god. I mean, I'm sorry, but oh my god. Peach. I had 3 crispy chicken sandwiches, 20 McNuggets, fries, a Coke, and then a McFlurry.
Why?
For dinner.
Why? Oh, that's like some old school, like agitprop too.
Estrella, UNAM, which is the National Autonomous University of Mexico. Yeah. It's like, they're massive. It's one of the world's largest university campuses, actually.
I have some mixed feelings about the red flags, but you know what? Hey. It's on the 6th of April they were protesting. Fighting for better wages.
Sourcing, I'm not a nutritionist, but you might want to consider cutting back a bit on your evening caloric intake. You know, I could have done without the glitch effect over the entirety of the video.
My guess is it's to avoid being banned on YouTube or something.
It's obnoxious, though.
La séptima reunión de negociación en la Facultad de Economía con el director de la facultad. Ellos ya tienen nuestro pliego petitorio. Para algunos es un pliego petitorio sobrado. ¿Qué quiere decir esto? Que no nada más reclamamos pago y ejercicio de prestaciones, sino que también reivindicamos derechos que permitan una buena continuidad de
I'll turn closed captions on for you folks. Closed captions in Spanish. So Yeah, that just came to my attention. No, we have to have the glitch effect. I mean, look how much better it is with it. I know, right? That I could have done without the glitch effect over the entirety of the fucking video. But hey, Hoffmaster, I'm glad that you find the chat entertaining. And yeah, we're not as ban happy as many of the other leftist streams have a tendency to be. Let's see. Wait, of which video? I'm just looking at a Mitre fucking Mitre and Squee going back and forth. Those fries look terrible.
If it was Columbia, Cat wouldn't be able to understand it. Haha, he's helping me become a proper lady. Amazing.
Duffy put this in shared content, I think. Burger challenge. 4 or 5 pounds between the burger and fries. Those fries look just wimpy and poorly fried. Like, those do not look good.
They look like unnecessarily dark, you know?
Yeah, I make much better French fries than that. They were inconsistent. Yeah. Some were good, some were meh. Yeah, they don't look like and stuck and phoned. Thank you for the follow, by the way.
Dig it, RV. It's a good one.
Oh, Jesus. Nothing worse than bad fries. I know, right? Like, I mean, sure, there's crimes against humanity and, like, you know, genocide and torture and stuff like that. But, I mean, a poorly fried French fry? Just saying. You know?
I agree with you, definitely, but like in the worst way possible. Like, obviously, but still, you could at least try to make them good. That's fair, meat. See, I'm not in the position to negotiate people saying my name correctly. I'm just not. I've given up on it.
Exactly. Burger theft gangs. No, that's not nothing compared to bad fries.
Hey, Boss Hog.
Hello, boss. You've eaten the 5-pound fat burger at Dave's yesteryear. Yeah, I didn't ever get into like that sort of challenge eating at all, even in my youth. I have demolished, like, I think maybe like middle school age, I've put down 2 pizzas before. I have a vague memory of doing that. So, I mean,
still doing me dirty. Actually, I'm not really that mad at it. Cormier is a handsome dude. Everybody loves him, actually.
I mean, if I saw that, I'd be like Cormier, right? Daniel.
Oh no, it's because Duffy thinks I look like Daniel Cormier.
Oh, okay. It is Cormier?
Yeah, it is Cormier.
Okay, so yeah, it's just that running joke that you look like that dude.
Yeah, which, I mean, I'm not mad at the comparison. It's just funny how he stuck to it. Well, I guess I'm transracial now. I dig it. There are people also trying to say I'm white, so, you know, hey, I win either way.
Oh no, you're already I declared that a while back. Like, you've done enough to transgress. You lost your person of color card. Like, you got lumped in with the white folk a while ago.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Brown skin don't mean shit, boys. We're white now.
Yep, you're one of us. Fucking last racial draft, we called you up.
Yep.
That's how it
I
works.
love that fucking skit.
Yep, that's.
Well, that's the thing, Rev. I also fail the 1 drop rule on top of that, so.
Yeah. It's all tanning booth. We know exactly, Duffy. Exactly. You can't fucking fool us. I adore it.
Why giraffes? You know, like that's
I
the main
adore
one.
it. Hey, Emily is a girl's name. Absolutely adore it.
I'm just wondering, like, why giraffes in particular?
I just want to know, like, what prompts that. And Meat Tray, the librarian and teacher, fucking corrected the grammar.
like I get it if you're gonna go like.
Oh my god, he really does look like him.
I'm just saying, like I get it if you're going for like the pedo like shit. Like it's dumb, but like there's something there, you know. Just like why giraffes in particular?
Duffy. Like I mean, honestly, it popped up. Like it was just like my top screen popped up. I'm like, holy shit. No, you really do look like Cormier.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
One of the best MMA fighters to ever live.
Yeah, you really do. There is a resemblance.
I'll take it.
For sure. It was, I knew what was like, it clicked immediately. It wasn't like, who is this person that just popped up in the Discord log? It was like, oh, no, I get it. That's supposed to be Cat.
I said, I'll take it. It's just, you know, just kind of the trend. See, for me, it's mainly just the fact that he's black and I'm Mexican. Like, that's the main thing that throws me off.
Yeah.
Me,
Trey, good joke. This is going great for you. The level of sarcasm.
Oh my god.
Well.
See, Emily, if there's another streamer I want you to try this with, right? Just his name is the Obscure Curio. That might land a little harder.
Oh yeah, go for Curio. Hey, let's shout out Curio.
Yeah, follow him and show up tonight. He should be on like after the stream.
Yeah, for sure. Curio.
Yeah, there you go.
Curio will get a kick out of it.
Emily, this is the guy if you want to try that one with. Also, everybody follow Curio if you haven't already.
Yeah.
Dude, exactly, Rev. Like the minute he explained the joke, that was the first thing I thought. It's like, yeah, should try that on Curio.
Let's see. Do you have? Hey, Social USA Parasite, go down on the channel and read the channel praxis. Do you have conversations with right-wing folks, or are you against opposing views? No, I'm not against opposing views. I will criticize your views. I will make critiques. I won't debate you, but I will have that conversation by all means. I will disagree vehemently in many instances. Many instances I'll agree. There's lots of shared common ground there as well. But no, I don't run an echo chamber. Echo. We have conversations with authoritarians. We have conversations with fascists. We have conversations with monarchists, apparently, as I've come to be informed as of recently. We have conversations with Juche idiots. We have conversations with tankies when they're not screaming about how we should hang ourselves. If you can actually have a moment of conversation with a tanky when they're not threatening to kill you or telling you to kill yourself. No, we have. I quite enjoy running a big tent.
You didn't get that wall built, Emily. It didn't quite get finished.
Sourcing, no opposing views allowed. Everyone here holds 100% of the same views. We signed on agreement.
Okay, well, you know, if this is what it takes to get egoism done, I'm done. Fuck it. Me, Trey, don't delete. Oh, come on.
Oh, Cave. Oh, Cave, I just saw your fucking your comment from before. All right, what was it? Trump did great with COVID. Everyone is using the vaccine we created. That's funny.
Are you serious?
The Moderna vaccine was created in. Was it Moderna that was created in coordination? Who did BioNTech?
I think Germany did, no?
Well, I'm just wondering. Not that.
I have booba views. They block my feet.
Pfizer. Okay, so the Pfizer vaccine was actually developed by BioNTech, a German based company, and the vaccine itself was developed by 2 Turkish immigrants to Germany. Like everybody's using the vaccine we developed. Like, no, sweetheart, boo boo. Yeah. We rebuilt Germany after World War II. Is basically only good because of the USA. USA is basically good only because of Germany. Look into Operation Paperclip, where we basically overlooked all of the war crimes of Germany in order to steal their scientists. The reason we landed on the moon was because of Nazis, after all.
Literal Nazis, by the way. Like actual people who have worked within the Nazi party. That's
in what way? I find that laughable. Okay, so we've got military spending and we've got amount of prisoners in jail. What's the rest of those number ones?
Okay, so I'm gonna guess 15-year-old with probably just a big ol' America flag just straight behind them.
No, I don't think we have the America flag behind them.
Because now he's like unironically bringing up the Olympics.
Confederate flag.
You think Confederate flag?
Well,
I'm
facts
not
went
budging
with
on 15.
number 1 in teen pregnancy. We're not number 1 in COVID deaths anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. Brazil took that from us. Olympics we dominate, tech we dominate, law is really cool. Well, I mean, law, we don't really compete. Like, law is ruled. What are you fucking talking about? Okay. And we don't really even dominate in tech. It's just we export a fuckload of blueprints to everyone else after using, like, cheap labor from countries, like, cheaper resources from country to actually fund those blueprints. Like, we stand on the shoulder of giants here when it comes to our tech scene.
4chan soundboard. Oh, you know what? I've never gotten rid of it.
Oh, nice. I remember. Fuck, that was like way back.
It's a while
That's a
ago.
call. This is some deep channel lore for you folks.
Yeah. And unless you speak Dutch, you have no idea what's going on.
I like to think that a Ramsey's just hanging out and he just fucking lost his mind.
No, just somewhere a Ramsey just sort of like perked up, like just out of nowhere, like.
Because we have the best fucking steroids, Emily. It's not like we're like the best.
Yeah.
We just have like fuckloads of money to throw away at like fucking.
It's adorable. Look, you know, that's fine if they want to be a bootlicking jingoist. I fucking more power to you, right? Like, chances are you don't have a whole lot going on, and you know you've invested a good portion of your personality into this symbolic concept. And I mean, that's, you know, to each their own. You do what you got to do to get through the day. But the concept that somehow America is the objective, demonstrable best in the world is a goofy idea, and it's a little bit childish and a lot naive. So
Also, that is true of me, Trey.
hey, yeah, exactly. We're number 1 in bankruptcies due to medical debt. It's just a stupid idea. Yeah, and not even close to reality. That's the sad part, is the delusionary state that it would require. This is why we think you're just trolling, and that's fine. Like, I would much prefer to think that you are trolling than unironically believing this sort of rhetoric, which is sad for anybody over the age of reason.
That's why I'm still sticking to 15.
Liechtenstein has the most Olympic medals per capita. There you go.
Go.
Male Rights USA's cousin. Jesus
That.
I just, yeah, that tends to make me sad when people unironically are the sort of like America's #1 crowd. It's like, if you've been paying attention, oh wait, no, you haven't. Because if you unironically believe that, then you're ignoring so much of reality that it's a little concerning. Yeah, I prefer to be gracious and assume the best in people. In this case, sad trolling. Hey, Willada. At Swede, you know how it goes. America #1, America the best, America the best in the world. You know, that sort of thing. The jingoistic fucking flag waver.
Just kind of sad, to be honest. While I go hurl. Yeah, that's fair.
It's just a...
That is the appropriate response.
It's just an ugly look. And I mean, even if we were the best, even if we were, right? Let's just pause it for a second. That we are literally the best, right? What is a worse look than a poor winner? Right? Who wants to be at the track meet with the guy who wins and then literally goes around in everybody's face, points at him and goes, "I'm the fucking best. You fucking lost. I'm the winner. I'm the fucking best that's ever been." Like, that guy is a fucking loser. Like, nobody wants to know that guy. Nobody wants to compete with that guy. Nobody wants to be around that guy. Like, that's, even if you were the best, like, have some grace in winning then. And shut the fuck up about it. Like, it's just an ugly look on people, no matter how it's interpreted. Yeah, and replacing democratically elected leaders of foreign countries. A lot of, not only foreign. Reminds me of that Dr. Seuss illustration that has the guy whose shirt says America First is attached to a guy with a swastika. Yep. That guy doesn't stay on top long, which is kind of exactly the U.S. Oh, I just, yeah, I don't understand. By the beard. All right. Yeah. Let's see. There it is. There you go. The Great U.S. Sideshow, America First, attached to the fucking Nazis. On this platform, folks, those most perplexing people, the lads with the Siamese beard, unrelated by blood, they are joined in a manner that mystifies the mightiest minds in the land. Yep. Yep, we do. We're #1 in military spending, for sure. That's definitely a thing. I love doing that sort of thing. I love being able to see that sort of cause and effect on Twitch. There was like 55 people, and I fucking did that like Dunk on America fucking thing, and 8 of them left.
That's funny.
Yeah, I love sorting the wheat from the chaff sometimes.
It's fun.
Yeah, it is funny to see that sort of direct cause and effect. You're like, yeah, you're an idiot. Let's see. We have the #1 resource in slave labor in terms of prison population. And hey, you're welcome. Right? Like, you couldn't have had that, I don't know, Victoria's Secret customer service line answered so cheaply without that prison labor. What would you have done? country's so fucking just goofy as shit sometimes. Oh, yeah, the newsroom clip. Oh, it's what that is. Look, Aaron Sorkin, say what you will about him, fucking knows how to write dialogue. And that fucking, that monologue in the newsroom about how America's not the greatest country in the world anymore is, dude, that hits real close. It's an amazing piece of artistry, both from writing and performance. Number one at a lot of things. None of them are good. The list of companies who use slave labor in the U.S. are crazy. And yeah, my favorite example out of the prison slave labor usage list is Victoria's Secret. You're like, what? And Victoria's Secret uses prison slave labor because reasons.
Move on to the next question. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jenny. I'm a sophomore, and this is for all three of you. Can you say in one sentence or less what... you know what I mean. Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
Diversity and opportunity.
Lewis?
Freedom and freedom. So let's keep it that way.
Will?
In the end, towards the end of the show, he actually hires the girl who asked that dumbass question that fucked up his world. It's a nice little arc for her. Number one in Chud's telling the next generation that if I had it hard, you have to as well.
There's a lot of gems actually to be found in the world of like, well, literally anywhere on Joe's show, Rev. He has a way of opening people up that I respect, but also find a little disgusting.
I don't know how to answer that with her. Yeah.
The New York Jets.
No, I'm going to hold you to an answer on that. What makes America the greatest country in the world?
Feel free to drop them in chat, Angie. Always good to see some interesting information. According to Sweetie, got Molyneux to go full mask off before he did his Poland video.
I don't really follow Molyneux that much.
Neither do I. It's tough. I hate the Peter Schiff ones, but Cornell West, says Rev. Keep your secrets to yourself then, Magic Man.
I thought you were like visited by the anarchist fairy. I thought we took a poll on that one night.
One part hacker plus one part raver plus one part punk kid plus a shit ton of psychedelic drugs and a heavy scoop of fairy dust from the gay anarchist fairy. That's the recipe that'll get you a Kai.
Nice.
Jesus Christ. It seems Rogan went hard right around number 1100. Episode number 1100. Fuck me, Joe. Alright, so that's a thing. I don't know what to do with that information, though. Let's see. Let me track that history. What the fuck? God damn it. The post office is bouncing one of my packages around town again. Vegas distribution center to the Henderson facility, back to the Vegas distribution center, and now fucking departed the Vegas distribution center back to the destination. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Stop bouncing my packages around. Wither, I will look into that. like right now, I suppose, so I don't forget, because I will forget doing to do that later. All right, I may have to look into that later. There's not a quick copy of that available. Hello, Nitrous Cutter. Oh, sweet. Back to working on cable management. Dude, if you're like, this all comes down to casework. I'm so happy with my new case, having the bifurcated areas, so all of the cables just emerge out of like the mounting area for the motherboard from the other side. Made the easiest cable management I've had in my career. Yeah, super happy with my case decision on the newest rig. Nitrous Cutter, hello there.
I like that.
What?
We got baited.
Yeah, what's
Baited
what's
hard.
your view on global warming and why is it fake? Thanks. It's fake because there is no reality, and this is all a simulation that's being run on like some next generation alien server somewhere. Basically, we're World of Warcraft, but for aliens. So any climatological changes that are occurring that are for sure metricable, objectively real, are actually at their core nothing more than extrapolations of this simulation. So fundamentally, that's why it's fake. Yeah, because everything is fake, because nothing is real. Not you, not me, none of this happening right now. This is all just a delusion in an alien server somewhere. So you know. For sure. Anyway, Joe is yeah, Joe was always an empty vessel. He was a moon landing denier, and one of his best friends is Alex Jones. Fair enough.
Global warming is just an overheating CPU. Need more fans. Fair enough.
That's what the windmills are about. That's what the turbines are about. Those are actually cooling systems that we're installing.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not actually... See, most people think the wind is turning them, but what they don't know is part of the deep state actually they power them themselves. Those are actually fans, and so the wind you're feeling is part of the global deep state fan network. Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, that's actually what the Rothschilds are up to. They're a
really
part
seen
of
it
Big
before.
Fan.
Good job, Rev. That's probably a good place to cut it off. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Yep. They're Phenomenati. The glaciers and ice caps are melting for use as liquid cooling. No, sorry. I mean, why is people thinking it's fake, and how can we trick them to believe it? Oh. Rev almost went full incel.
Yeah.
Stuck is actually of the opinion that we're in fact an alien experiment gone awry after unrest on the homeworld led them to abandon the project for 150,000 years.
I can see it. I've heard crazier things.
For sure. Yeah, for sure I've heard crazier. Yeah, it was the tricking them is a little iffy. simulation theory irritates the crap out of me. Why does it irritate the crap out of you, Rev? Let's get into that, Rev. Why does it bother you so? Welcome to Therapy Fridays with Kai. What's on your mind? I'm gonna drink the rest of it. I almost did. I got it up and I just looked at it and I was like, and I set it back down.
I'm ready.
I don't know if I could do a coast to coast impression anymore. I'd have to look up old Art Bell stuff, Swede, and then like refresh my memory, and then I could probably do one.
Good job, Cupcake. Oi. Fucking sounds, dude.
There's still more at the bottom. I need to.
I saw that. I didn't want to tell you yet.
Oh God, that's just
It's our
gritty as.
boy.
Oh.
You did it. Good job.
Oh. Sweet, nothing tasty.
And this is Gainer drink.
Yeah, it's just, you know the deal, Swede. You're in that camp. You've done marathons and shit. Rancor diarrhea, basically.
Oh, man.
Himself, I'm never going to look happy about it because it's not a pleasant thing to drink. It's nutritious. It's good for you. That's it. There's no amount of flavoring. Like, I can blend fruit into that. Doesn't make a difference. It just adds more pulp and shit to it that you have to down. Right? Like, there's no recovering that flavor profile. It's just drink it and be thankful for the nutrition. It helps you meet your macros. Leave it at that. Salt, protein shake, lemon quarter. Oh, I didn't mean to do that to you, Nitrous. I'm sorry, but let me
Why did you fucking...
yeah, it moved right under my fucking mouse. We have to tell the people that greenhouse gases are changing climate globally and to eat plant-based food, was what Nitrous said. Himself, yes. I mean, look, Nitrous. The fact of the matter is that there's a large swath of the global population that you are not going to readily convince to give up their carnivorous ways about. This is the truth of the matter. I invite you to go to South America and tell them that, like carne asada and just beef in general is off the table, right? Like meat's out. You're going to get an interesting reception, right? It's an unrealistic expectation to have that we're going to successfully convince large swaths of humanity who have been omnivorous since forever. So best technologize your way out of that. Just grow meat. That's your avenue. That's your route out of that one. We need to grow meat. Once you get to that point where we can effectively do that, you're good to go. I can't remember the guy commonly credited with simulation theory, but his hypothesis seems to be taken for granted that the universe can be simulated in the first place. It's been a while since I hung up on that, though. Fair enough, Rev. Yeah, Wither, we're already doing it.
Yeah, it's basically we take like DNA from fucking like cows and basically cloning the meat but not the animal.
Yeah, we're already doing that with her. It's just a matter of industrial production rates at this point, right? It's about economics of scale, getting the costs down, getting the production rates up. But no, the technology's already been developed. Now we're working on like other stuff. I know I saw an Israeli firm is working on steak. Right? Like not just like meat as in cellular structure, right? But actually like steak. So yeah. Oh yeah, I know, Angie. I have some of that as well. But yeah, the mycological blend that goes into that alone, it tastes very much like turned dirt. It's probably the best way I could describe it. Hello?
What?
No, I'd gladly eat lab-grown steak. Somebody, Black Ginge 74 said hello, dude. So said hello.
Oh yeah, it was.
I'd gladly eat lab-grown steak if it was good, said Patronum. Yeah, I'd be interested in lab-grown steak, and that's why I'm following it, right? Like I'm down, but put up or shut up territory for sure. That's the way it works, Angie. It's the way it works. Yeah.
Never hasn't been that way.
Yeah, I've done it before. I'm doing it again. Although, like, my arm imbalance is already annoying the shit out of me.
Yeah, you get used to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to work. I'm going to, like, as soon as I get the shoulder, like, rehabbed, I'm going to, like, deload the right and upload the left sort of situation. And, you know, try and counteract that and make gains on the left so I can equal them out. Because it is noticeable, at least to me.
Right.
Fair enough. I'm going to call you BG. Just for...
Not the worst way to navigate that.
Yeah, we're just gonna go with that. Let's see. Furthermore, it seems to me that due to hard limitations such as the speed of light, that's literally impossible to simulate that level unless we make significant breakthroughs in quantum computing. Simulation theory seems to be the latest iteration of Socrates' Cave of Demons and a new religion to me. Fair enough, Rev. Fair enough.
Also, RV, good fucking luck. That sounds disgusting, and I wish you the best of luck in that journey. Fuck that.
Oh, grass-fed bone marrow diet. Fuck yeah.
Ugh.
Look at you, RV. Making...
I mean, it's good for you, but, like, holy fuck.
Ginge. Okay, I can do that. Yeah. It's, you know. Oh, we think we do. See, that's the thing. There's also, the universal constant isn't so universal because theoretical physicists have postulated that it is possible for the speed of light to be variable. So the universal constant may not be so universal. We're not entirely sure. Because we've shown light is able to be slowed. So things get a little weird in those areas. Best you not get too deep into them because you end up in existential crisis territory sometimes.
Patronum, I get that, but that's not what he was talking about. Oh. Well, good on you anyways, RV.
Yep. And
either way.
Yeah. And stuck. Yep. And then there's the neutrino problem. It's a whole fucking... Hey, Pastique. It's a whole thing. Hey there, Pastique. Let's see. Bone marrow and organs as supplements. What organs are you going to be using, RV? Out of curiosity. I know calf's liver is a popular one among certain athletic crowds. Neutrinos did nothing wrong. If you want to hear, here, if you want to fucking read more about the anomaly, Caboose. Neutrinos are like Switzerland. They hoard money during World War II. Oh, no. I mean, Rev, we slowed, like... What speed did we get it down to? 40 miles per hour. We successfully slowed light down to just under 40, 64 kilometers per hour. That was Len Vestergaard Howe at Harvard. She pulled the speed of light down to 64 kilometers per hour. So yeah, that's a fucking thing. So yeah. At least neutrinos never call cops on anyone. Yeah, we've done a whole bunch of like light slowing experiments over the years. It's called the variable light theory. And it's, you know, the universal constant of the speed of light doesn't seem so universal. That's what we found out as a result of it. It was a couple of Scottish physicists that managed to slow down photons while at room temperature without refraction, which is a huge fucking deal for them. But yeah, it's a whole thing. Yeah, oh yeah, Patronum, there's all sorts of causal problems with a bunch of those light experiments as well. Yeah. The light exiting before it enters thing that occurred. Yeah, there's a whole host of those sort of causal problems when we start looking at it. Our universe is a lot weirder than even we're ready to come to terms with. Light slowing experiment. Jimmy Trump on TV. Oh my god. Favorite anomaly of atom smashing are the particles that appear in different places at the same time and the disappearing, reappearing particles. Yeah, I mean, electron spin alone is weird as shit to start with. A lot of stuff goes in my head. I find it interesting indeed. Straight to RV, bro. If you're gonna keep this neutrino position, I'm gonna have to block you. What are you linking to, RV? Oh, this is your supplement. All right, cool. Desiccated beef organs, liver, heart, kidney, pancreas, and spleen. I'd be careful with that liver. It's grass-fed and everything, but adult, especially bovine, but adult mammalian livers have a tendency to contain nasty stuff. That's why they usually go like calf livers, at least in like higher level athletic circles. Heart, kidneys, again, filtering organs. Pancreas, interesting inclusion. Are you using their bone and marrow mix too, RV? Is it the same company? You're doing bone and marrow from grass-fed? All right, looks like it's raised in New Zealand at least, which is better than most places for sure. Hey, Eris. We're just having a bit of a meathead, like, talk about supplements sort of shit. Yes, okay, so you're using their marrow as well. I mean, yeah, the best thing I can say is at least it's New Zealand sourced, because it's going to be a healthier cattle raising environment there. But yeah, the inclusion of that liver bothers me. I probably wouldn't consume that if it were me, but you're a big boy. You can make your own decisions. Yeah, it doesn't work that way though, Iris. I mean, I'm not gatekeeping you, but it doesn't work that way. Feel free. I always welcome another within the milieu. But yeah, to be an anarchist, you have to do anarchist. But if you'd like to discuss it, you're always welcome to. You can pop on if you want to, or if you have that inclination. Nitrous, what is doing anarchist? Doing anarchist is Friday Lazy Kai short for you must engage and utilize anarchistic praxis. You have to do your part in the anarchistic educational process. You have to do some level of community organizing, action, direct action sort of stuff. You have to get your feet wet. You got to get your hands dirty. Being an anarchist isn't as simple as just saying, like, I'm an anarchist. Like, what's your thing? Can you espouse anarchist theory? Have you done direct action work? Have you done community organizing? Like, there's, you know, it's not one of those things that you get to make declarative statements about, like, I am it now. Like, you become an anarchist by being an anarchist. It's just how it works. How was that hit, Kat?
I mean, I disagree, but you already know the reasons why.
Yeah, because you're a fucking egoist, and goddamn sternerists are the problem.
It's always the social anarchists fucking up, though. Never forget.
Yeah, well, we're the only ones that actually do anything.
We were there.
We were there in spirit.
No, we were there. We fought alongside Lenin and got killed along with the rest of you people. All right, we did it.
Yeah. Doing anarchists, basically. A fucking...
Aristocracy, you can fight me in Street Fighter about that take.
We call them specters now.
Yeah, we moved away from the other groups.
Yeah.
The other word.
Stuck. We call them specters now. And generally the British spelling is used as well for specter. So R-E. Barley. It's okay, Stuck. You know, that sort of stuff, that sort of shit change. Don't even worry about it. That sort of shit changes on a dime. But yeah, I thought I'd catch you up since you were familiar with the terminology. Give you a heads up on the revised version, as it were.
What are the worst types of leftists in your opinion? Stalinists.
Yeah, tankies.
Like Trotskyists. Yeah, like Stalinists, Marxist-Leninists, Maoists, that sort of shit.
Oh my God. Spectres, like in James Bond. Does that mean Dr. No did nothing wrong? Pastique, back of the fucking, just back the room.
How is soulism different than egoism? Egoism tries to pretend that it's realistic. That's pretty much it. I'll tell you just straight out. Egoists and fucking soulists have a lot in common. It's basically a circle. It's like you know what? I'll relate this to the social anarchist. It's basically like the difference between an anarcho-syndicalist and an ancom. Same thing. Like it's literally just disagreements about tactics. I took a double of an edible and I feel very strange. That's a rookie mistake, aristocracy. Also, big fan, by the way. Fucking yeah. Oh, you're welcome. It is rookie though, just straight up. I am confused. Well, basically, soloism is like the idea that like egoism ain't realistic. Okay, so ideally, an egoist society would essentially be a like unified union of other egoists coming together to do whatever the individuals within that union desired. That could be a fucking trade cabal. That could be like some like that could be like more akin to like Stirnerist's fucking like whole like vision of shit, which is basically just anarcho-syndicalism but like less collectivist. And then, fucking all that sort of shit. The problem is that egoists essentially believe that, like, the ego of the person you're engaging with should be respected above all else. You can't force someone to be an egoist. They have to give their explicit consent to actually engage in egoism. So, like, you can't really manipulate people because of that. It's just, like, a very much, like, we're just hoping people just turn egoist if we spread the word of egoism.
Wait.
Pretty much with her. And then, of course, like, then the thing comes of, like, the ego gets to decide what is right. So, like, an egoist could theoretically, like, if it pleases his ego, he could fucking kill somebody or whatever, all that shit. It's a whole thing.
No, Astray, you can't. Stuck. I love that. If the edibles are too strong, just lay down and relax. And in 15 hours, you'll wake up refreshed.
That's a good advice. Oh, wait, what did you take, aristocracy? Because that does, like, kind of change.
Sounds like
intensity.
gummies.
If it's gummy, yeah, you'll be fine. Just, try not to freak out. Honestly, you should probably click away from the stream. Find something relaxing. Fucking,
If you want to, Eris, if you want to come by for a bad movie night once, because that'll happen in like, a while. Swing by for bad movie night on the Discord server and have yourself a good chuckle at a really terrible movie. It's going to be good. So.
You'll like it, Eris.
Yeah.
These people have the luck on like terrible movies. It's great.
Trust me. I'm an aficionado, and we got a bunch of people in the community that know they're bad movies. We've got a supply of bad movies at this point. So it's a good time. We do it every Friday. Yeah.
Also, every Saturday there's like some degenerate hosts like this weird like MMA like viewing party thing.
Anarcho Meatheads Unite. Yeah. Apparently Saturday night on the Discord server is Anarcho Meathead community meeting.
MMA, we watch MMA and boxing on there. So if
that's
you ever
your
want,
thing.
like, just a free way to watch UFC events, there you go.
I don't want to be rude, so I'll not go further on what I think egoism, but I'm highly skeptical. Oh, Pestique. Stirner was a sociopath.
Yeah.
Stirner was a goddamn sociopath. If he were today, we'd be like DSM-5, antisocial personality disorder. Like for sure. Like it's super. He unironically believed might makes right. He said crazy shit like, why should I have to respect another human being's innate humanity? Like, why should I, oh yeah, he was not a great human being to be around, to be perfectly honest. He's super influential to foundational individualist theory and ideologies, or philosophies. He would immediately take exception with the inclusion of ideologies. But
even that shit.
Yeah, like it's not the dude you want to hang out with.
No, not at all. And I'll say that as an egoist. Fucking no French philosophers were either. Okay, that is fair, Estrella.
Himself,
Honestly,
I don't know where you're getting that impression. In no way, shape, or form would we ever do that.
Yeah, no, we just we all simultaneously watch together on our own streams legally. We all order our own fights. We have a rule where we have to see like physical receipts of people after they've printed out their pay-per-view orders.
Yep.
You know.
You're gonna order a crepe. Crepe. Do anarchists hate crepes too? No. Not that I'm aware. I don't think. I think the tankies hate crepes though. I heard that. I'm pretty sure I heard Haz go on a 45-minute rant about how crepes are revisionist and anti-revolutionaries. Yeah.
See, what's funny is I don't know if you're joking.
I don't know if I am anymore either, quite frankly. Yeah, you enjoy some. Duffy's right. I heard tankies hate fun. You enjoy something, they hate that too.
Yeah.
Some pancakes need to be revised.
Post an article, Solisto, Bionisto.
No,
Stalinisto.
egoist Solisto.
Oh shit. Mike from PA's. Good luck, Estrella. Fuck. That's a bit too much for me.
Post-anarcho, egoisto, solisto, Bionisto, Stalinisto, fuck Marx and Lenin, and Mike from PA is my new ideology.
You know, that's not the worst way to go down. Aside from the Stalinisto, but you know, hey. Sure, it's balanced out. It's like astrology.
Commendations and congratulations, Pastique. I've stopped even entertaining the idea of getting along with them, and I just basically poke at them with a sharp, pointy stick whenever I see them.
What's a tiff? I like that. Good job, 15, Elliot. Who is Mike from PA, and why does everyone hate him? Okay, memes aside. He's basically like a very big, like loud socialist here on Twitch. He's very, you know, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this, I'm probably wrong about this. I think he's affiliated with the DSA in some sort of professional capacity. And because of that, yeah, he's central committee, by the way. But long story short, he's had a lot of run-ins with other lefties, and a lot of them either made him seem grifty or he just straight up like negatively impacted them. Or he's just been shown being in bad faith, or just straight up being a grifter. He's most famously known for his conversations with Destiny, Vosh, and I think there's one other. I know he got into it with Bo, the fifth call. Point is, he's kind of like the annoying, like younger cousin that everyone just kind of wants to hide away. Because while we agree with him, he's a dickbag, and he actively like makes us look bad.
Oh, and he's a hypocrite.
Yeah, and he's also probably a grifter on top of that. But you know,
for sure, a grifter.
Yeah, I think in one of his conversations with Destiny, he says something to the effect of, not a direct quote, of that the reason why he doesn't advocate for lefties or himself to cover local politics in their municipalities is because that would result in us having less power overall in the cultural discourse, and no one would really be able to make any money off of that. So, you know, that's why he doesn't cover local politics in PA. So there's that shit.
You know, Bo deserved better. I agree.
Bo did deserve better.
Yep. And yeah, the Bo from the fifth column thing exemplified how Mike from PA is a hypocrite.
Yeah.
So, yep, there you go.
But yeah, again, this is not an unbiased retelling of the events. I haven't watched every one of the conversations in, you know, all that, but you know, Destiny, Vosh, those are like the, you know, Bo from the fifth column. I think he had a run-in with Sot Slime. Point is, there's a lot of videos, a lot of people had conversations with them. They look real fucking bad in a lot of them.
Hey, Karina.
Don't watch. I recommend on 4x speed when sober, because fuck having to listen to that dude for like more than an hour.
How was work, Karina? Mitre, it depends. We're all hypocrites, but it depends, like, the moment, right? Mike from PA advocates for restorative and reparative justice and transformative justice, and in the same breath, he's criticizing Bo for shit that he did ages ago, has paid his debt to society, and has spent like a decade doing leftist praxis and advocacy and propaganda for it, quite the opposite of what he was participating in originally, right? Like, how are you going to say we need restorative and reparative justice processes? We need to forgive the worst amongst us, except that guy who's on my team. Fuck him. He committed a crime and he crossed the line 10 years ago, and he can't be redeemed. Right? Like, there's moments in which your hypocrisy, sure, we're all hypocrites to one extent or another throughout life, but there's moments where that hypocrisy matters. And that is one of those moments where it fucking matters that he's a hypocrite. Right? Like, yeah. That
like, especially as like a political like advocate and like an interlocutor as a representative of the left, you know, and we gotta hold people to standards here. What's the critique on socialism for you? I haven't seen much with it. From my grasp is still not complete. Well, from like an anarchist perspective, a lot of like anarchists would take issue with like how centralized socialism wants to be, and of course, a lot of socialists still want the nation state and all that sort of shit. You know, anarchists want to fight for a world without borders, would like to move past like the centralized state, no monopoly on violence. You know, so basically getting rid of the police, all that bullshit. And then, you know, other anarchists would also have issue with like the abolition of the commodity form as a concept, because that would, you know, most leftists would agree that requires some sort of centralized government to be able to like actually plan an economy for municipalities. So it's that sort of shit too on top of that. So like, if you're a syndicalist, you don't really want to abolish the commodity form. You still want to keep that around. If you're a fucking, you know, if you're like a market anarchist or like a mutualist and shit, same thing. You know, you want to leave that up to the markets and all that sort of bullshit. So, you
know. Nitrous, the shtick is old. I love Destray. It got a little chuckle out of me. My ideology is built on being a hypocrite, and even I can say Mike is way too hypocritical for me. The anarcho, etc., 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 don't support him. I like the anarcho, etc., 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 like the formal group. Today was a little good news, says Karina. During a conversation, I was able to help my boss see why Warhammer has so many fascists in it and how we can avoid it. Normally he pushes back, but started to understand better. Dude, I'm not even a Warhammer person, and I am firmly aware from the outside, y'all got a problem. Like, that's a disproportionate representation within your like fandom. Like, that's when you start paying attention. This is like the Nazi and Confederate brony and furry thing. Like, it's like, fix this before it becomes too big of a problem for you.
Well, that's the thing, is that like the Warhammer universe is like a literal like justification. Like, it's basically they did their best possible to create a situation where fascism is just justified. So that's pretty much all you need to know. Like, there are races with like different propensities to violence and technological advancement. Humans are actually just straight up hated. Fucking, you know, so there's like all sorts of like scientific and moral decay that has occurred due to this like power vacuum. Like, it is just straight up like fucking like, this might be a scenario where fascism is justified. Thus, fascists get to be there and, like, you know, coom over the idea that, like, you know, there's a scenario where they could be the good guy. Maitre, that is a risk I'm willing to take.
We make money off them, so he has an understandable bias, said Karina. Yeah, Elliot, I just want to paint cool minis without getting lobbed in with the fascists.
Amazing.
When you create a hospitable environment for fascists, fascists show up. That's just how that works. Let me refresh the feed here and see if there's any.
Monarchism is cringe.
Wait, what?
Aristocracy says something about anarcho-monarchism.
Oh, no. I'm just fucking... Elderly couple uses military Morse code training to escape Tennessee assisted living facility. Like... What in the fuck?
Has anyone seen that YouTube series, The Dark Side of Liberalism? Who made it? Because, frankly, I don't trust, like, anyone to criticize liberalism. At least nobody online. Political scientists shit can do that.
Interesting. So the husband had military training with Morse code and learned the door code to an assisted living memory facility for those with Alzheimer's and dementia. He learned the door code by just listening to it because they had unique sounds on the button presses. So he just wandered out.
Nice.
The facility's been fined $2,000 as a result. Let's see. It's based on the book The Apprentice's Sorcerer, apparently, says Rev, which Rev has not read. Team that old dude. Man breaks out due to ludicrous Simon Says skills. I don't know, Cassie, you'd be surprised. Fair enough, Angie. Fair enough. Let's see what else we got. Apparently, we're gonna restrict travel from India now. Hey, look at fucking anarchism posting. All right, let's throw that on stream. A little blast from the past.
Oh, damn.
This is Catalonia. In color. And I think you'll...
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones here. Proudly radical.
I think
Since
you'll
I owe
notice
Kai a few
women.
favors from back in the old days.
Yeah.
Shit, I probably shouldn't talk about that. Wait, why are you still recording? Fine. Just be sure to edit it out. Anyways, as I was saying, this is Alex Jones, and I just wanted to teach the proletariat a few things about anarchism. Anarchism isn't about chaos. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Anarchism is about the people. It's about solidarity and mutual aid. It's about removing unjust authority and hierarchies. We should all be anarchists. The world would be a better place. Now, I'm going to apologize again to all those parents whose lives I ruined because I'm such a douchebag. Jones, out. All right, Kai, this has got to make us even for that incident you helped me out with.
One down here, she's got the stare. Bottom right-hand corner, she's got the look.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Sorry to hear that himself.
Can I get an F in chat for my buddy? Just got news he lost his fight with mental health and depression. If I, know what that means, I think I know what that means. Sorry to hear that, himself. Fucking, I won't be so crass to actually put the F, but it is his. I mean, it's a fucking shame.
Happens to the best of us.
Interesting.
Well, Kai, you got to do it now.
What? Oh, we're actually doing Fs.
Yeah.
Um.
You broke the fucking streak, Mitre.
Fucking Mitre got it. Let's see.
That's fun.
There we go.
I am a simple Northern Irishman. I see Thatcher in the title, and I click and say Maggie dead.
Let's see. Whose was that? Okay, Dr. Buddha, welcome. Yes. Have you done your duty as an Irishman? Have you put your share of garlic on her grave so the bitch doesn't come back? Like, you just have you checked the stake through her heart, or that space where her heart should have been lately, just to make sure? Like, right? We don't need her vampire ass coming back. He's in the mud. Yes. Catalonia, the place where the USA, Russia, England, and Germany in the 40s all pitched in to squash the people. Yeah, basically stuck. Karina's latest one was, it was that day Alex Jones couldn't figure out how to get rid of the copious amounts of gay porn on his computer. Luckily, the IT guy who came to the rescue was a small anarchist named Kai. Karina creates a new headcanon for it every time.
You know what we need to do? We need, one of these days we need to have like a competition where we just have the community write headcanon stories for that, and then just whoever's got the best one voted by the community gets it. My piss has standards.
That's probably the best take I've heard on it for a while.
Yeah. I respect it.
Let's see.
Fuck.
What, you dropped it again?
Fucking dropped my pipe this time.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You're constantly dropping all of your weed and weed accessories.
Dude,
Also some rookie shit.
Yeah. This motherfucker.
What are my objections to Christianity? I mean, there's a few, but probably not the ones that you would expect. I would much prefer if the Christians of Christianity behaved more like their Christ. That'd be great. It's, I think, a fair criticism of the people who claim to follow said religion, that maybe they could follow said religion a little closer, or at least the guy that they say they're following.
Yeah.
Be super useful to the rest of us. Little less organizational structure, a little less, shuffling rapists around. A little less general across the board diddling of kids. Little less taking of the monies of their parishioners for their own gain. That'd be great. And what do you mean Christians follow Christ a lot? Remember when Christ said I'm a racist Trump supporter? I remember you. I remember.
Fuck it. No, not that. I just. Oh shit! I do too.
Yeah.
Oh, that. Yeah. Fucking. Also, yeah. Premarital. That's a good one.
I
become a himbo while high. I get that. You know what? Maybe. I just gotta. You know what I need to do? I need to nail like the himbo like voice. I need to sound more like Hassan and shit.
That is right, Angie. The communion wafers taste worse than the pea protein. Like, clearly, like, that's the greatest sin. Get some decent like bread product up in that bitch. All right, like get a decent wine.
I was gonna say start cheaping out on the wine.
Well,
Like, don't fucking take a
you know,
leave the rest.
get some olive oil and a good balsamic for the bread. You know, let's Jesus was down for a party, right? Like fishes in loaves, bitches, like wine, water into wine. Like, let's make this good. Like, let's get some like oregano and basil, maybe get some mozzarella up in there. Like, let's do this proper if we're gonna do it. If you're gonna honor Christ. Put on a spread. Yeah. Sorry, Wither. Went out with a Catholic once. I'm a Satanist. Family meetings were awesome. Fair enough.
These motherfuckers. Give me a second.
I mean, which one? I replied back to you on stream about... Yeah, no, Wither, yeah, I said I was going to do that live on stream, but then that book wasn't readily available, so I'll have to look into it at a later time. Hello, Zoidberg. Hello from somewhere on Earth as well. Hey, Snappy. Thank you for the resub. Congratulations on your 3-month. That's kind of that type of spread sounds more like an Italian family dinner than church. I mean, you know, if you're right, you're right. Right? That's all I'm saying is some people nailed it. We might as well just admit they have it right and adopt it. Communion wafers taste like those water-soluble packing peanuts. Christians shunned me when I was a child. Fuck them. Fair enough, Rev. Shen Bapiro recently tweeted that the left didn't target Duggar because he's human garbage. He thinks the left targeted because he advocated for Christian values. Yeah, Christian values like being charged for molesting 4 girls, including some of his sisters, when he was younger as a teenager. And then being caught with child pornography on his computer. Some of which was very young. So, yeah, that's great. You know, Christian values. Like raping your sisters and looking at kiddie porn. Sure. Yes, Zippy. Here. Copy it. So, you know, that's how it started, and that's how it's going. Don't forget selling your assets and putting everything in your wife's name so the government can't take it when you're convicted. Karina, we've actually automated a good portion of the child porn reviewing process. Interestingly enough, thanks to Ashton Kutcher and Microsoft. Weird statement to make, but in fact it is true. With Ashton Kutcher's advocacy and his not-for-profit group that gets involved in these sorts of things in coordination with Microsoft, a series of very high-end algorithms and image recognition algorithms were developed to carry the bulk of the child pornography reviewing process. Some final reviews have to undergo human eyes, of course, but a huge amount of that workload was offloaded so people don't have to go through 12 million images of child pornography. Yeah.
All right, I'm back.
All right. Let's see. Not everyone who says yeah. Let's see. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Why not? There we go. And to you, begone with thy, or withy. I quote James 1:26. Those who consider themselves religious and do not keep a tight rein on their tongues deceive themselves, and their religion is worthless. So maybe don't spout off about religion so often. Interesting. Good to know, Swede. Traffic Cam is an excellent app where you take pictures of hotels, motels you stay in that they use to locate missing and exploited children. Child porn, taking down MAGA one at a time. Hey there, Barley. Casual. Yes, in fact, it does. Having to review that sort of imagery really does. It causes PTSD and a whole host of problems. Agents who work those areas work them for a limited time, and then they're cycled off these days. No, there's not much of a lifespan for somebody involved in those areas. Buddha, I ended marijuana usage in Ireland because I smoked all the weed. I mean, you're
don't know if that's based.
You're essentially like Cannabis Christ. That's yeah. Good on you, Dr. Buddha. Marijuana. Who are you, Henry Anslinger? Hey, whiskey. Rev. You know, I get you, Rev, on the militant atheism thing, or militant anti-theism, as you aptly put it. Yeah, I don't. People who evangelize their religion, or it's an uncomfortable thing. It's an uncomfortable thing. Especially when your religion is responsible for a fair amount of suffering. Maybe keep that to yourself. Bong hits for Jesus. It's been a while since I've found that one. I've found that people that want to tell me about their religion have no interest in my life or beliefs.
What is that?
Rastafarians are very not chill about the LGBT community, though, Buddha.
Or white people.
Yeah, that's like Rastafarians are Christians if Christians chill the fuck out. Not really. Yeah, they're super hateful towards some particular groups. Barley, smoke meth, hail Satan. Interesting. Good to. I don't remember them off the top of my head, Angie. Yeah, I had.
You have an idea? It sounds like an interesting sub.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what they. I don't know if they would have survived.
Also, hey, Rabbit. Good to see you.
The Crusades were just a big hiking party, for sure. That's how I understand it as well. Yeah. Professor Rabbit. I don't care if he is a professor. I refuse to refer to him as professor. You can take your ivory towered elitism and fucking your liberal values. Let's see. Rasta is hardcore. You know, I just know they don't like me as a gay man, so. Oh, lordy.
Hey, what'd they say?
Well, yeah, this is I remember this. Like, this is gonna be a whole fucking thing. I got called indoctrinated by leftists for going to a Jesuit right-wing freshwater university. Swede.
I need to have more experiences with just crazy Christians, don't I?
Swede, that's hey Sue. Well, they don't like you because you're white. Then they don't like you because you're queer. Exactly, Rabbit. No, Karina, no joke, but I learned about how much the Knights' feet bled walking more than their genocidal actions. I didn't even learn about their feet bleeding, to be perfectly honest. I don't remember that fucking part of the lesson.
I mean, it sounds about right.
I mean, they didn't have amazing footwear. It's not like they were fucking rocking Nike Airs or some shit like that, right? I mean, this is leather shit at best. I'm sure they were, they had quite the calluses and blisters going on. Helps when you've recruited any rando who wanted God to forgive them for fondling their wife's sister. Yeah, I know we've got a bunch of virtual detectives on Reddit, Angie, but I don't remember any. I don't remember the like motel room child porn trafficking group. Like that one seems to have escaped my notice. But yeah, we've got a bunch of Reddit detective subs for a variety of things. Up to and including identifying insects or just even random objects. Like, what the fuck is this thing? But yeah, not familiar with the human trafficking one. Hey, glad it finally came back for you, Wither. Had to walk in armor, and our teacher spent a lot of the time on the punishment doing just that. Knights, if they took their armored boots off, would swell so much so they couldn't don them again. That seems healthy. That seems like a healthy thing. I'm sure I can consult my podiatrist on that one, and she would agree that being unable to remove your footwear for fear of your feet swelling up to the point of your footwear not being able to be put back on probably is the way to that's the path to amazing foot health for sure. Oh, interesting to know, Swede. Hotel chains have started to make sure that the artwork in rooms is different in every location so that the locations can be easily identified by pictures that have the artwork on the walls. Duly noted. Maybe I should stop coveting chainmail. That's a weird thing to covet, Rev. That is a strange thing to covet. That sounds like some shit that they would have done, Rabbit. Best part, during the crusade, they started walking just before the rainy season, so halfway through they were basically marching through swampland. It's not like the Pope was marching through swampland. It was just disposable fucking peons, right? So, you know. Who cares? Well-oiled machine. I'm concerned about being stabbed. It doesn't make sense, says Rev. All right. Well, we'll look into that. We'll get into that another day, Rev. Why you're so concerned about being stabbed that you covet chainmail. That's a discussion for another day, probably.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of that.
Cassidy is the daughter of a podiatrist. I can verify that's not healthy foot care. With her unrelated note, so I'm selling paintings. Oh, fucking A. Who knows? There were so many. Let me check the order of these goddamn things. Okay, so no, Rabbit, the Peasants' Crusade is considered the prelude to the First Crusade. Because, yes. Yeah. In some circles, apparently, it's considered a distinct part of the First Crusade or a prelude to it. So, just depends on who's telling the story, I suppose. The Third Crusade would have been done by Philip II, Richard I, and Frederick I to reconquer the Holy Land from Saladin. That was the third for you, Rabbit. Hey, thank you for the gift sub there, Sue. And congratulations there, Rabbit. Angie found it. It's trace an object. All right, let me go there really quickly and see if I'm subbed or not. Show sidebar. Nope, not there. Join.
Yeah, this has left my radar so far.
Highly formatted, formalized FBI case numbers. This is structured. Rock on. I'll give a look at that later. Thank you, Angie. So let me put that in chat again, but as like an actual Reddit link. There. That's what Angie and I are discussing there. Let's see. Duffy, how many Crusades are there? Depends who counts, 8 or 9. It just depends who's counting, though. But generally, it's 8 or 9 is usually the count. The Pope have small PP. That's the extent of my knowledge on the Crusades.
Yeah, that about sums it up. You know, a lot of people died because of it.
Oh, paying an old debt from the failure of the debate. Fair enough. Evangelicals haven't stopped their crusade. No. The Holy Land just happened to be the center of commerce between Europe and the Far East along the Silk Road. Don't be bringing up actual facts and making sense like that, Stuck. What are you doing? Come on. For just £3 a month, we can raise the number of crusades to 10. Yeah. Oh, don't want to close that. There we go. Time is it? 8:46. You know what? I kind of want to do the movie at like a halfway decent hour tonight. Seeing as we've been having a tendency to do them at like fucking midnight.
Right.
And some people really do actually pass out on stream.
I've been guilty of that.
Multiple
I know.
multiple people are guilty of that one.
Well, seeing as it's gonna be a Funky Friday, you should raid this. It's cool.
Mitre,
Mitre
no,
Friday.
I'm gonna miss it then. Well, Mitre, it doesn't happen right after the fucking stream. I
Cassidy, don't you ever say that again. Oh, I thought you said no. Oh God.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit. Fucking, what time is it for you, Mitre? Let me. I've got Sydney on the main clocks. It's 1 in the afternoon. You'll probably be able to join us, to some extent or another, Mitre. Oh no, Karina, my fave was the Pope who bought himself into power, gave his kids roles as generals, has orgies with his wife in the palace, and openly made money as a Pope. My favorite was the guy who was so pissed at the previous Pope that he dug his ass up and put him on trial as a corpse, like as a partially decayed corpse, and literally had like paid a dude to stand behind him and admit guilt from behind while he was on the stand. And then when that motherfucker died, like the next pope basically absolved the pope before him, like of any criminal wrongdoing. It was just, there's some fucked up pope stories.
Also, gotcha, Cassidy.
There we go. Cadaver Synod, the cadaver trial. Pope Formosa, for Pope Formosus. Yes. He's the one who was put on trial by Pope Stephen the Sixth. Yeah. Enjoy, Sue. Later. I kind of like the one who was selling tickets to heaven blatantly. Yeah. Gregory was wicked. Yeah, oh yeah, Buddha. It's his it's his show to run. The College of Cardinals has some input. You know, there are committees, but it's the Pope show to run. Yeah. Does God take Bitcoin? Probably these days. Yeah. The Pope is the Pope is both the head of the church and the head of government, the head of state. Fucking, they're sweet. The Pope is the head of state and the government. Yeah. He is the head of the Holy See. He is the head of the Vatican. He is the head of a church and a state. Kind of aliens do you think they got both of the Vatican? I don't know, but I'd be fine if you let me into the Vatican secret archive. You don't have to let me out. I'm okay. I just want to go in. Just let me in. Before I die, just let me see it. Let me touch some stuff. I just want to run down the aisles and touch shit that I know I shouldn't be touching, that's like thousands of years old and shit. Whatever they've got going on in there, I want to see it. I think that'd be super. That'd be a good way to call your way out. Like, it's okay, guys. Just let me in. You don't have to let me out alive. Like, I just want to see it. What do you got going on? A couple of cases. Let me in with a week's worth of supplies, a couple of cases of water, and some protein bars. Stuck. I'd love to see the archives. Yeah, that would be amazing. Exactly. Yeah, Puka, exactly. I would touch all the shit. Like, just, yeah, 100%. Exactly, Cassie. Like, it's just, there's stuff in there that you could just not access. Plain and simple. You're just never going to be able to access that level. The treasure, the crypts, the books of human skin. If I didn't see Nicolas Cage down there stealing something, I don't know if it would be a complete experience. Buddha. Yeah, they would. They would have a hell of an art collection for sure. Let's see. Who is there? Any? All right. Cool. Want to make sure that. All right, so I'm gonna launch this sort of like out of nowhere. So we're gonna go right over to Bleep Temple. He's doing some music. So in approximately an hour, we will reconjoin over on voice chat on the Discord server. If you want to join in on Bad Movie Friday, we're watching Neil Breen's Double Down. It is going to be spectacularly terrible. I encourage all of you to swing by and join us. Bring your alcohol, bring your weed. Do not show up sober. So yeah. Basically, little over an hour from now is when we'll reconvene there. Take care of yourselves. How would I feel if the vault was a porno stash of the priest? That would be a hell of a fucking surprise, Karina, for sure. So, yeah. Hope to see you on movie night. Catch y'all later. Hope you're as well as you can be. I'll see you on Monday.